started. Oh, it started.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
it started all
it
right.
started all right. Yes.
Okay, Eon, listen to this. On Everyday Feminism, you know that website, right?
Vaguely. I never visited, but yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't. You
Yeah, no,
shouldn't.
don't go there.
It's like the titty bar your dad told you to not go to.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, it's horrible. Everyday Feminism, I follow them on Twitter just because they have such wonderful
articles.
insightful articles.
Yes, they do.
And I saw this tweet today, so I clicked on it, and it's called Healing from Toxic Whiteness to Better Fight for Racial Justice. And it's a free online workshop on the 15th of this month. So I signed up for it.
You have to get rid of your toxic whiteness, goddamn you.
Yes, because
You're oppressing me.
I want to rid myself of the toxic whiteness that is infecting me, or whatever the fuck. So yeah, this will be interesting. I signed up for this stupid online workshop, and in this, let me read. It's amazing. It's amazing. It says, in this interactive online workshop, you will learn how to free yourself from toxic whiteness and develop an anti-racist white identity. And you'll get in this 1 hour. By the way, it's only an hour, right?
A whole hour to give you all these tools.
I know.
That's amazing.
It's a whole hour. It's amazing.
But how long will it take for a bucket of paint, a brush, and to paint someone over completely back? That does take an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, do you remember those shows that back in the day where you'd win a shopping spree, but you had a minute and a half? To run through the aisles and shit?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah. But listen, this is what you'll learn in that hour, right? This is what they say you'll learn in that hour. The 4 core pains that drive all of the outrage, denial, guilt, and fear, preventing white people from taking action for racial justice, including and especially for yourself. You'll also learn a completely new way of looking at white supremacy as something that has caused pain, suffering, and trauma across generations of white people, in addition to colored people.
Wait, they said colored? That's racist,
I know.
That's racist. You can't put the color first. You got to put the person first.
I guess they goofed, right? Whatever.
Well, black people can we're allowed.
Now listen to this. You'll learn this too. A powerful mindfulness practice that will help you get in touch with that pain and suffering, and how to take care of and release it with compassion.
That's where TJ Kirk got the banana thing. I see. That's creepy.
You'll also learn how to transform your interactions with other white people by connecting your ability to work with your own pain with the ability to work with other white people's resistance to taking action. I don't even know. And then yeah. And then you'll also learn about their upcoming 8-week program dedicated to helping you turn what you learn in this workshop into a daily practice through community-based group training and individual coaching.
Brainwashing.
It's a cult.
It's a fucking cult.
Oh, yes.
Let me just say, this wasn't the original topic, but this is an interesting one. I think we'll get to the other one later. But I just want to say one thing. As someone who has developed curricula, and someone who's developed syllabi and had to create courses from scratch and stuff like that, it always be suspicious of a course that has a 1-day workshop and an 8-week long workshop.
It's called compassionate activism.
Right, okay.
That's what they say.
Okay.
Yeah, compassion to everyone, but if you're white, then we don't have any compassion.
No, if you're a white dude.
Oh, white dude.
White
worse than that.
Yes, that's right. You're getting it wrong.
By the way, it's got a little thing here, right?
Yeah,
it says, what do we mean by toxic whiteness?
Whiteness, that's it.
No,
Just whiteness.
Similar to toxic masculinity.
Of course it is.
Toxic whiteness is something created by white supremacy and not inherent to white people. Toxic whiteness comes from the history of how the white identity was created since the people of European descent had been identifying with their home countries and not as white prior to the creation of whiteness.
What the fuck did she just say?
I don't even know. I don't.
That's
even
not
know.
even in English. I mean, it sounds like English.
I don't even know.
Like the individual words could conceivably be construed as English, but I don't think it's English.
I don't even know. I really don't even know. I don't know. It's all gobbledygook. But
well, you'll be indoctrinated soon enough.
Yeah.
You're taking the hour-long workshop to get the tools. You want the tool now? Oh wait, it's not too.
Why?
Sorry, wrong kind of podcast. Sorry, it's Saturday morning. I'm kind of.
Listen to this. Why is it centered on white people? And this is their answer. It's not appropriate for white people to center their emotional struggles with racism in cross-racial spaces with people of color present.
What?
Yeah, exactly. What?
So, don't be a guilty white person.
Is that segregation? I'm sorry. I just woke up so on half.
You know what, Platty? I don't even know what I'm reading here.
Don't be a guilty white person around colored people. That's
Well, I schedule my daily self-flagellation for being born with pale skin and a penis for 1 p.m. So I may have to duck out.
Okay, well we've got a half an hour. Then
Listen,
play with yourself for a while.
Oh my God! Listen to this. It says having a separate anti-racist healing space for white people led by a person of color who can hold them accountable is important for white supremacy to be dismantled.
So we gotta guilt you, and you gotta let us.
Yeah, this is religion.
That's how we get rid of white supremacy. It's religion. Yeah, it's absolutely religion.
I'll be right back. My wife is knocking at my door.
Sure.
Alrighty.
My God.
I mean, I can understand the toxic whiteness thing, same as I can understand aspects of toxic masculinity. This is going a bit far, though, because
you think?
Yeah, just a little.
I realize I have white privilege. I know that, and I have seen it, especially when it comes to being around like Harvey and seeing how he gets treated, or seeing how the fact that my daughters happen to be of fair complexion, so they don't get the treatment that he gets. And I've seen, and I've gotten out of tickets before for being white and at the time a woman type thing. I've gotten out of tickets for that shit that I know that any of my darker skinned friends would never have been able to get out of.
Yeah, exactly. No, I agree with you there. But this is just like a bridge too far, in my opinion.
Look, man, the thing of it is that and this is true, sort of, in many instances, right? If you're walking down the street, and you're a white person, you don't know, like how many times, right? Some policeman has been thinking, well, I got to stop somebody. Who's it gonna be?
Yeah.
And they looked at you and thought, well, no. And then they saw some colored person, and they did that. They went up to him and stopped him or whatever. But by the same token, literally by the same token, it's not safe if you're a very white person to be on 123rd Street in Lenox at 2 in the morning.
Yeah, it all depends on the area.
I know that. I don't go down West Baltimore after dark. I rarely go there ever, actually.
Yeah.
Same with Oakland in California. There's places going down to Oakland that you don't go to if you are pale.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and if you and let me tell you, there are places in California too where if you're black, you probably don't want to be down there when the vatos go out at night.
Yeah.
And vice versa. And you know, I mean, I understand the notion, right, that it's supposed to be right. It's like racism is power plus privilege or whatever, but that's not true at all. Anybody can be a racist. There's a difference between being a racist and being able to do something about it.
Yeah.
Or being willing to do something about it.
Yeah.
There's a difference, you know, and maybe they should have gone with that instead of power plus privilege, because this other shit is just stupid.
Yeah.
Well, I know that the definition for racism and stuff like that wasn't written by people of color, and that was one of the things that kind of shocked me when I was searching it, because I heard everybody going on about, oh, they came up with this definition. I'm Googling and I'm like, some white dude came up with that one, actually. It was really weird.
And so, but the thing is that everybody has decided, every SDW pretty much, I think, right, has decided to run with that, and I'm just not down with that. I know plenty of colored people that's racist. That hate them some white people or hate them some niggas and shit. Man, my aunt is like her when she was alive, right? Her skin was white skin, right? And her daughter was kind of like me, a little darker, right? But when my cousin came home with a cocolo, with a black dude, my aunt lost her shit. And she did it
That's
again.
the same as Harvey's grandma.
And she lost her shit again when she showed up at the door with a Dominican dude. And let me tell you, for the people that love to talk shit about it, the truth is that there's no difference between a Dominican and a Puerto Rican, except Dominicans seem to like bean milkshakes, which I find revolting. But
that sounds horrible.
I'm just saying, it sounds revolting. And I like beans.
And it also sounds quite gassy, I have to say.
I imagine so.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, we eat the same foods. We call them different things sometimes, right? And they're made a little different. But really, and genetically speaking, we're identical. You know? And I don't get shit. This shit is racist. Now, depends on what you can do about it at that time.
Yeah. And I think telling white people that they need to feel guilty and they need to feel ashamed.
Oh, I'm down with that. Y'all should all kill yourselves. Yeah. Or if you might, just go outside and jump off of something high.
Yeah, that's it.
Try a colored person. They're usually high.
Climb up
Stand person high, because you know.
High.
Because colored.
Yeah, no, I get it. High. But I'm bumpy.
Yes, I'll be here the whole week. Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah, this should be interesting.
Let me ask you guys: do y'all feel weirded out when I make race jokes and shit?
No,
not really.
No,
but I live with you.
Well, yeah, no, but you live with me and you've been around for a while. But I mean, like, at first.
Me?
Anybody? No, not you, but you know, like when we first started doing like the SST and stuff.
No.
If you would have asked this question, about 3-4 years ago, then I would have said yes. But these days, no.
Yeah.
I couldn't care less if someone is racist or makes racist remarks. At least they're a bit more honest than the ones who are hiding it.
I will say, for me, I'm still really uncomfortable about it, but I'm learning that it's just how certain people are, and just learning to roll with the punches is how I'm doing it.
Well, look, let me just say, right, for me, right, I generally don't spend my time doing this or thinking up race jokes. I actually just thought of that one. I don't know if it was funny or not, but I just thought of it. And I don't, and as a general proposition, I don't do that. But I get weirded out when other people get weirded out by it. I'm like, dude, it's okay. It's just a fucking joke. Now, if you're like a malicious person and you're always on about it, because I'm on about it on Sundays mostly.
Yeah.
You know, it's not really a thing. But some people are on about it all the time, right? And I think that's a little, qualitatively, it's a little different. But, you know, yeah, I don't. And I really don't like that notion of white people feeling guilty for shit they didn't do. It really is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like, feel guilty for shit you did.
Yeah. Like, if you went and kicked a black person just because they were black.
Yeah, you should feel like a horrible person.
Yeah, but I'm not going to sit around and feel guilty for something that my ancestors may or may not have done, because my ancestors weren't even in the same fucking country. So, you know,
look, I don't think, see, this is the thing. I don't think that you should have to look back that far to find the grievance.
I mean, Jesus
if you
Christ.
ain't got a real grievance here in the here and now,
if I go back far enough, I'm sure there are black people in my history, you know, because my grandmother wasn't exactly all white. You know, she was quite a dark-skinned Romanian woman. You know, so
she is a nigger.
So, you know,
she is just the European version of a nigger.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
That's what she was.
Yeah. So,
and that's okay.
Yeah, and then I have to say, like, look at our son, right? He's whiter than white, but he's half Hispanic. So what? You're going to judge people based on the color of their skin for one side of the argument, but for the other side of the argument, you can't? Like, I don't get how this works.
Well, our girls are white, too. So, you know,
but what I'm saying is, like, their father was...
I don't think that you should... And that Bank Street thing, that really pissed me off, actually.
Those kids...
For me, the whole guilt thing doesn't so much have to do with my ancestors and what they did, because I've traced mine back and they didn't own slaves or stuff like that.
Yeah, mine too.
And it's more that it just, perhaps it's my upbringing, perhaps it's where I grew up or something. I just get really uncomfortable about it, and that's why in a few of the SSTs or Hangouts, I have shouted something like nigga or things like that. It's me trying to go, okay, what's actually affecting me? What's causing it? And it's not so much even guilt. It's just that I don't feel right.
Like, maybe it's sort of how, like, I don't know if it's sort of how I felt earlier on, like when I first, you know, was with Joe or whatever, but I felt it wasn't my place, you know, as a white person. I know it sounds silly, but as a white person, I felt it wasn't like my place to talk about it or to, you know, say those kinds of things.
I think white people should talk about it as well. I don't think you should go and learn from some SJW that, you know, you're guilty. But I think it's perfectly fine. I don't see that. You know, that's one thing that I actually don't mind about, like some of the manosphere dudes.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they're like, well, why can't I talk about it? Look, I never said you can't. I think it's perfectly fine if you wanted to talk about it or whatever. You know, I don't think that it's a thing that is just for colored people to talk about, because that's racist, yo.
That's racist, yo. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I like when here's an example, and this is using Harvey because he's the best example. We were in San Francisco, and
wait. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but are you trying to say that Harvey is like the best colored person that you know?
No, he's the best. He's the best example for just saying whatever's on his mind in my family. And basically what happened was we were in San Francisco in Union Square, and there was this huge Hasidic Jew wedding going on. And we're standing in the middle of probably 400 to 500 people minimum.
Damn, niggas have money.
Yeah, Union Square was completely taken up by this wedding. And so it was me, Harvey, and our friend Kevin, not this Kevin, a different Kevin.
Yeah.
Yes, no,
and so we've got an Asian, Harvey the Native American, and me, Captain White Person. And Harvey looks over at his friend and in quite a loud voice goes, "Damn, a BLT sounds really good right about now." and I just turned like white. I just turned like white as a fucking sheet. And his friend goes, "Yeah, that does actually sound really good," as I'm grabbing both of them and running. I had to explain later to our friend Kevin that Jews don't eat bacon. And so Harvey basically started a lynch mob that I had to pull them from.
Let me tell you, I know more than one Jew that has had themselves a BLT with me.
Oh, same here. I know quite a few bacon-eating Jews.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, yeah. When it was funny, I dated this Jewish guy once, right? And his mom was like super, super, religious and Jewish, and she was, I guess, what you would call sort of Orthodox, right? Yeah. And his dad had converted to Judaism to marry her. Right?
Oh, that just sounds painful.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And one week she had to go on a business trip, right? So she left for a week. Oh my God, the amounts of bacon that these people ate, the father and my boyfriend at the time, it was crazy. They like put bacon on everything. They're like, he's like, "My wife's away, get the bacon."
Look. There are plenty of horrible things about the southern U.S., but they're right. They are at least right about one thing. There is like no food that you can't put bacon on and make it better.
Yeah, yeah.
Except maybe ice cream.
No, you can put bacon
in ice cream.
And I
think you can put bacon in ice cream and still it will be, yeah.
People have done it. I beg to differ. Put bacon on bacon. Now there's some.
Bacon on ham.
It's like, no, what was that? That one Simpsons. It's bacon up that sausage, boy. Wrap it up real good.
I'm telling you that bacon is a good thing.
Well, that's why it's a commodity. Texas food group says, bacon, sausage, and ham steak. There you go. There's your food group.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why. That's why pork bellies are a commodity, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
Pork bellies are like golden orange juice.
Golden orange juice.
No, they are. The golden and orange juice are both commodities also.
I know.
But anyway, so yeah, Beach, you came in late, so let me catch you up. We're still going to do that thread because we tried to do it before and it's sort of my connection.
Remind me, thread. I got a lot of crazy shit going on.
Vernacular
thing. Vernaculous thing, because we tried to do it before.
You just want to pick on the kid again, don't you? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
But we got caught up in toxic whiteness.
But yeah, like Chris signed up for this. Yeah, Chris signed up for a toxic whiteness workshop.
I saw the tweet. I was just kind of trying to wake up and at least get my murder prevention beverage, aka coffee.
Mm.
Yeah. This topic. I'm looking forward.
This topic.
I just saw the tweet and I'm like, really? It's like.
I am so stoked. I'm like so stoked.
White guilt now.
Yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait till the 15th. I really want to dive into this.
Oh, you're gonna go?
I'm so happy.
You're gonna do you're actually gonna go? This is in your hood?
No, it's online. It's an online workshop, and I'm like,
I'm
signing up.
Webinar or whatever.
Yeah, and you can connect. So you can ask questions directly to the
you're gonna troll them, aren't you?
No.
Yes, you are.
No.
Yes, you are.
No.
I heard that little innocent. No, not me.
No, she's gonna troll them.
I would never.
She's gonna troll them. Yeah.
I would never.
Yes, you would.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes, you would.
I don't know what you're talking
about. That's a phrase that I brought to this house. I know what you're talking about.
Wait till Sargon gets wind of this and signs up and starts asking some questions.
There's some feedback on somebody's mic.
It's gonna trolled. Yeah.
Who's
It's gonna get trolled.
Yeah. Who's doing?
There's like some high-pitched feedback on somebody's mic.
That was me. I walked into the kitchen where I keep the unshielded plutonium reactor. So.
Well, stop doing it.
Well, don't do that.
Stop doing that.
Do that like tomorrow.
You horrible white.
I told you, you're trying to drag me into. Usually, I'm conscious of it, but copy none. I have not enough. So, it's on yourself, Joe.
There's no such thing as not. There's no such thing as enough. I gotta say, but you know.
There's definitely a definition of not enough.
So
stop wandering around.
Headache, so.
Yeah, I get headaches if I don't have enough coffee during the day.
What? Coffee?
I better not wander outside because I don't have pants on, and the cops said they're not going to give me a warning.
This is your third chance.
I'm getting more tea. Would you like coffee?
Of course I would.
All right.
What the hell? Would you like to breathe? Yes. Thank you. So yes, we had to cover that because Chris just discovered this and she read out some of the stuff. She read out some of the stuff. Were you aware that there is such a thing as toxic whiteness? In addition to toxic masculinity,
there's such a thing as annoying whiteness because whiteness is a state of mind, and I think you know what I'm talking about.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it's annoying.
And so,
to the point where, well, I don't know if you know my back history, but I grew up on kind of the other side of the tracks for a period, a long period. Because my got divorced. This is back in the old days when there wasn't No Fault. All of those games were played. So single mom, 2 kids. So
yes. I am aware of some of that stuff. Yes, from back then.
Buildings, people struggling.
Well, you're an old fuck. That's what it is. Moving on up. Yeah.
When someone says this to me, it's that green puff, gated community type of attitude. That very much in a bubble. That's kind of like when someone says whiteness to me. That's what pops up in my mind. Bougie. That's the other word. Very bougie. But I guess toxic whiteness is just being white now. It's just your melanin count.
I have anti-freckles.
You have anti-freckles?
Yeah. I actually have freckles that have no color on them. So I just have these spots of like pure white all over.
Oh wow! We should stick you in front of the unshielded plutonium reactor and see if they turn it into. We can make a chameleon woman.
I went outside today. My sun quota is done. I'm gonna burn later.
The reactor. This is gamma radiation.
I heard nothing of what you fucking said. Nothing.
You out, I think, because I was explaining what whiteness is to me.
Yes.
Any station. Joe.
Let me see if I can. There.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
All right. Sorry, guys. God, I hate this fucking thing. Oh, these connections.
It's a poor craftsman who blames their tools.
I'm not blaming my tools. I'm saying I hate them. I'm not blaming them. There's a difference, damn you.
Well, consider that a pre-warning then, before you went there. To ride you.
That's perfectly fine. As long as you don't try to ride me, then we're good. Because that's kind of weird. Creepy. Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yes, well, I got caught. I was trying to explain what whiteness meant to me, and I meant it like that bougie, gated community type of attitude.
Well, it kind of used to mean that to me as well.
Yeah, that waspy.
Yeah, the Stepford wife kind of thing. the Keeping Up with the Joneses, and every weekend you mow the lawn, and I've got to get the Christmas lights
Everything's
on the
dress
house.
right dress.
Yes.
Yeah. Everything's dress
Yeah.
right dress. The gossiping housewives too.
Yeah,
Reveals the rot underneath that,
yeah, the
poor folk. Not that poor folk don't
no, not
gossip too. Yeah. The hell they do. Yeah, they do. They talk shit, massive shit. They're just more open about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that passive aggressive, repressed. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, well, the typical sort of, late 70s up to, I guess, like the mid 80s, maybe the late 80s.
Sure. Oh, I don't think it ever went away.
Well, no, but I mean, like, it came out in every movie. It's that Ferris Bueller shit.
Yeah.
So 80s and 90s.
Yeah, Ferris Bueller. That would be. Yeah, there's just so many movies that describe that, but it's really when you grow up on the other side of the tracks, then what seems normal to you is just like, what the fuck?
Well, yeah, look, man, it came to me when I was sitting in one of my graduate school courses, right? And we were doing Victorian literature, I think it was. And one of
the purple stuff.
Well, yeah, but we weren't talking about that at the moment. Like at that, like this vignette is not any of the. Well, here, this is what happened. This dude, they have this program where they basically bus the Midwestern white kids in to the East Coast to help the poor brown people, right? And they get their tuition paid for and all that kind of stuff, right? So I'm sitting there in class, and we're talking about Charles Dickens, right? And Charles Dickens, for people who don't know, he was sort of a champion for the unwashed British masses, right? He wrote a lot of you know the stories, right?
Yeah.
He wrote that. Yeah, he was writing about early Industrial Revolution, Victorian London,
and he would criticize like the practice of having chimney queens, child labor, and that kind of thing, right? And so the dude and we got, I don't know how exactly we got on to talking about it, but and it wasn't me. I didn't bring it up at all, actually, just for the record. And we got on to like the representations of poor people. And then this white dude, this white dude, like with no neck and shit, like this, like the football player kind of dude, he sort of looked like. He says,
classic Midwest.
Yeah, they're all the program was for Midwestern kids, right? So if you lived in one of the Midwestern states, you had to take an English class, right? A graduate school English class to get your degree in teaching, right?
Right.
And so he says something along the lines of, well, poor people just want to be poor. Like, what are you, retarded?
Oh yeah.
To that.
We're breaking into the attitude that poverty is a moral failing.
It's a moral. And I'm sitting there going, "What are you, retarded?
You're poor because you just didn't work hard enough."
Yeah, just get up and work harder. Like, motherfucker, if not me, but if I could, I would. That's what any poor person would tell you. No one wants to fucking be on welfare or fucking live in a city. All that. No one wants that. And the only way.
Oh, it's also in America too. The Horatio Alger myth is still very strong.
Yeah.
You remember Horatio
Or
Alger?
What was the welfare wife? The welfare queen.
Oh, the welfare queen myth. Yeah, that she was driving around in a Cadillac, and that was Reagan era.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, that's from the Well,
Well, the Horatio Alger myth. For those not familiar, Horatio Alger wrote these series of books, and I believe, God, It's been a while. But the character starts out as a newsy boy, and then makes it to a copy boy, and then by the end of the story, he's a magnet, and it's that story. Yeah, like all you got to do is be plucky and have the drive, and you too can be a millionaire. And, it's complete bullshit. Those stories happen, but usually it's just dumb luck. But let's face it, most people that succeed, it's because they fell out of the right vagina.
Essentially, yes. But
yeah.
so and
99 times out of 100, that's the case.
And that's what I think of when I think of like today, like whiteness today. It's that kind of ignorant fucking. Because when you think about it, the only way that you could say that is if you conceive of poverty literally as a moral failing. And who is that?
I don't know. It's Eon. It's Eon.
Eon?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm just moving around with my chair, and I've got the creaky chair here.
Moving, stopping.
All of you stop moving.
Farting. No scratching.
Nobody breathe.
No masturbating.
Yeah. Oh shit.
I'm not masturbating.
I don't know.
Not yet.
But who chimes in with a denial? Busted.
What was that old joke? Whoever smelt it dealt it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I seriously wasn't masturbating.
Well, we're all glad to know that, Flatty.
We're just fucking with you.
My day is take breaks every once in a while.
Complete.
Hey, I'm trying to cut back.
My wrist hurts.
Why, man? You're so close to the Guinness Book. You're so close to the Guinness Book of World Records, man. I think keep going.
Keep going.
Reach for the stars, Flatty. Reach.
No, don't reach. No, don't tell him that. He's just gonna cause himself damage.
Yeah.
I'm saying,
I was just joking. So.
Try not to stretch that much.
Wah. That poverty is a moral failing. That's actually one of my favorite subjects to yell about too, because but having been in that situation, it's a pit. Poverty is a pit.
It's hard to
anybody can fall into it.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
And it's funny because there's been a couple situations where, I've actually had friends or acquaintances who had that attitude, and because they grew up in the what was that? Levittville, Levittown. Wasn't that the first suburbia?
Yeah, the guy was named. Yeah, the guy that invented the idea.
Yeah, that's like that. That's what it is. Yeah, during post-war period.
Yeah, right after exactly.
And they fall on these people have fallen on hard times, and they're like, God, I didn't know it was like this, and I'm like, now you know.
Yeah,
and now you've walked a mile in the moccasins of the po-folk, and now taking advantage of not getting the same opportunities because you don't have those networks. You don't even have to be rich if you can actually have access to those networks.
Yeah, well, look,
you can be protected from those ravages of poverty.
Yeah, because that was for me. I grew up. My parents started out poverty level really way down there, but they were able to get good college educations, so that got them out of the bad area. But I remember growing up when we got an apartment in Davis, and it was like the crappy linoleum table. We had just a mattress type thing, not very well off. And my favorite toy was these wax strings that you could curl into all the different shapes type things.
I remember those.
By the time I graduated high school, we were living in an upper class area. We were still middle class, but it was upper middle class. We had a home, actually purchased a 4-bedroom house. good neighborhood. We had cars, all that stuff. So I actually saw the progression moving up on the scale, pulling out of poverty. And then when I left, it was basically the "we did it, you can do it too" mentality, and I watched myself skyrocket downwards into poverty because
that would be
I had no idea. And so now I'm currently still living in poverty, trying to dig my way out, and it's hard as fuck.
Well, what I find funny though, is, and really fascinating, actually, which is also why I'm gonna do this thing that we're gonna talk about later, is that in the same brain, right, where you have this idea that poor people should be able to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, right, and if they can't, they're just lazy fucks, and women do it too. You're somehow exempt, but at the same time that you consider yourself exempt from this, right? Say I'm this generic white guy, right? And I look down at minority people, or I think tisk on you. You should work harder, and I say, bitch, marry up,
or be like me, which is what these assholes actually mean by assimilate.
Yeah,
I can get into that later though, but yeah.
So in this same brain that they have this built-in exemption for themselves, as if they are. Let me tell you, just on the law of averages, okay? Most of the people that have these really spiffy degrees in science are beaker washers. Not everybody is. Not everybody's a Nobel Prize.
They're sitting there watching the petri dishes.
Yeah.
Making sure that.
And I know this is the case for pretty much any kind of, if you study business. Most people that study business, they're not fucking Donald Trump. Although who would want to be? Yeah.
Well, there's your case in point. He's all like, "Yeah, I made it on my own." His dad was a goddamn millionaire. And you hear this from these, for lack of a better term, these white people.
The trust fund babies.
Yeah, they'll say shit like, "Well, I made my own business," but never mind that you got that could float your business, an interest-free loan from your family and friends that could float your small little business for an entire year.
Right. And
no, I did it myself because I showed up to my pizza, like that.
Didn't he say that he he started out with a small loan of $1 million from his dad or something like that? And I'm sitting there going, what the fuck? And you see all these people now. This just popped into my head because Nami shared a tiny house thing because of college education and the cost of tuition and all that stuff. This guy made himself a tiny house that he could take and live at college without having to pay the exorbitant amount for funding and everything. And at the end it said it only cost him $15,000 to make. And I'm sitting there going, holy fuck, if you have $15,000 to spend to make yourself a tiny house, what college are you going to that you couldn't afford housing? Fuck you.
Yeah.
I had to take out student loans in the realm of $30,000 just to get a fucking associate's degree.
Right.
It's
I know, but that's the thing you see. It's like, oh, I'm a self-made businessman. It's like, no, you're not. You have that's what I was talking about. Those support networks. Like I said, you don't have to be personally wealthy.
You got a loan at 1% interest, at 2% interest,
or none.
Or none.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, here, kid, here's $50K. Go do something. I would have loved that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I've got some documentation on my main PC. It's almost done, by the way. But because I was busy setting up my own business not so long ago, and you have to, apply for loans. You have to pay them back. It is not a freebie. You can't get grants. Well, you have a few organizations here in the UK that are willing to give you a grant, but you have to follow certain rules, and
Yeah,
then
you
you
got to
can
jump
apply
through
it.
security.
Yeah. So again, most who get the grant are the exception to the rule. Most people won't get it. So you have to borrow money. You have to pay this. You have to pay that.
Yeah.
Then you have to do this. You have to do that. If you look at the numbers, excluding economic factors like crashes and the one that started in 2008, for
Yeah.
example, it makes starting business a bit harder. But on average, most businesses will fail within a year.
Yeah.
Yep.
The
Most small
attrition rate.
businesses, yeah.
The last that I read on the subject, a couple years ago, maybe 3 years ago, was something along the lines of 80% of new businesses will fail within the first year, and then of the remaining amount, another 15% will fail within the first 5 years.
Yeah.
Because of lack of adequate planning or
Well, here's the other
capitalization.
thing too. Add to those networks, like that kid just 50K. He's got that pool of people of expertise that somebody on the outside would have to pay for. Consults.
But
likely, that parents got a network. That's what I mean about network.
Yeah, they got friends and they got and
so they're going to be able to get access to lawyers. They're going to be able to get access to probably other business consultants that works with dad, all of that stuff.
Now, to be fair,
you're just you walk in cold without those networks. That's why you're going to fail.
Because it costs a lot of money to do promotion, to get your face or your name out there, just to get the customers in and buy something.
Yeah. Well, and nowadays it's maybe a little easier, but look, in the 50s, right? A lot of black families moved north and did fairly well. And the issue was you're breaking up, or I am. I don't know. Say that again. Beach, say that again.
I said the first Great Migration.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The first migration of blacks from the South was late teens and early 20s.
20s, yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of them did fairly well until and I don't know, this is correlational, right? So until laws started appearing on the books that seemed in some ways targeted towards black people. And
redlining.
Yeah, the sunset laws and some of the redlining, which was actually because the government funding wasn't there, right? Which was an issue for a lot of these people. And yes, I said these people. But it is possible to get out of it. Now, the thing of it is that too many people today, especially, are literally blaming everything that happens to them on this. Because I kept my head down, and I did okay. It's possible to do. The problem is that, the SJW problem is that they blame everything on white. And you can't. Not everything. There's a lot of institutional shit, maybe, yeah. There's a lot of, there's still, I don't have that, it's a ridiculous argument when I hear people. What?
Some of it's incidental, too. It's not purposely racist or discriminatory, but yeah. And
the thing is, there's to my mind, right? To my mind, there is this difference between like regular, normal ass white people who just actually are not bad people at all, and motherfuckers that say shit like this, right? Like this other stuff, and
are we going to AIU territory here?
Well, that kind of stuff.
Oh God, I hope not.
That kind of stuff. But that kind of stuff, that race realist shit, That
Yeah,
that
like
that
the person I'm
ridiculous.
getting into it with yesterday. I don't know if you saw some of that.
I saw some of it, but if you clarify it, because I don't remember it very much.
I was getting into it with Willie Bumblebee, and I was in the mood to slap around a race realist, so I did. It was on Twitter. Yeah, a lot of times, because I've gotten into it with them so many times, it's all like, just nuke it for morbid. But I guess I was in the mood to do the details, so yeah, they just want to blame it on the ethnicity, on the demographic, that they're somehow inherently flawed. And this kind of dovetails into the poverty is a moral failing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because remember, class was attributed character, inherited character, if you will. So, that's what the lower classes do. They're there because of, if you get into the social Darwinist shit.
Well, yeah. Well, I've been doing a lot of research into that and eugenics.
Yeah.
That I didn't know this. Did you know? You probably knew that the Nazis got their eugenics ideas from the Americans.
Yep.
Oh yeah, no, the North American eugenics. They really twisted it, though. To be fair.
Well, the
North American eugenics movement had good intentions, but we know what happened. Where good intentions lead.
Yes.
Yeah, they took it because what the Nazis did with it was unrecognizable. At least the eugenics movement was science-based. Sadly, it was based on the science of the time, which was very flawed. Genetics and inheritance and whatnot.
And they probably
to a really, like, it's their mythos, like Superman and that horse shit. So, but yes, they did. They definitely inherited what the social Darwinists were pushing. They definitely took that. They took the term survival of the fittest to a ridiculous degree, of course.
Apparently, I'm an evil person because I fully support the thought of eugenics. So
you are an evil person.
So? Wait a minute.
I'm one of those people of some people shouldn't breed and some people shouldn't reproduce, and maybe forced sterilization is a good idea for them.
Holy moly!
Really?
Did I just hear that? Wait a minute. What did you do with Makia?
I'm not on my meds right now.
Oh, maybe that explains it. Yeah.
I don't know about that whole forced sterilization thing.
That was the fundamental of the eugenicists, though. And these certain characteristics are going to go away. It is false. Genetics works. You could have two people of you measure their intelligence and it's quite low, and then they'll give birth to a prodigy. Because it's, you ever heard the old saying about skipping generations?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we actually don't understand fully. We understand a hell of a lot more than the eugenicists.
It's raining again somewhere.
Yeah. But the whole thing about like intelligence, we don't understand how intelligence is inherited. We haven't even really defined intelligence.
The truth is that there's the truth is that there's no real consensus about it, and it's just too difficult to fucking. Maybe one day we can figure it out, but as it stands, intelligence is
scares me. Actually, that's Brave New World shit. There, but yeah.
Well, but then everybody will be happy. So who gives a crap?
That scares me. Believe it or not, it scares me. I'm very wary of utopian idealism.
Has any of you...
Doesn't have a very good record, I'll say.
Has any of you seen the movie Gattaca?
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen Gattaca. Yeah.
Yes, there you go. You have your subclass in it that's people who are not genetically modified, and the only jobs they could get were, sweeping floors, cleaning.
Menial labor. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we're doing that now, right? I mean, you can pick your kid's eye color. You can pick their sex too.
It's on the peak level. I think you're overstating it.
Oh well, no.
Chances.
I remember when the whole designer babies thing came out because of the fucking retards that I had to deal with in the abortion debates. It was like, yeah, you need to be swallowed, sweetheart.
I don't know. I like this unmedicated Micaiah. You're very saucy. You're very saucy today. I like it.
Was that a sexist thing to say? Or is that like like a racist thing?
Oh my God, is Nakia going to be screaming at me? What's your name?
I have no idea.
What's your name?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Oh, no, that's still far away. I hate, because this is what NSFW get in there. They thought, oh yeah, put out. And it led to some travesties. Are you familiar with the court case of Buck v. Bell?
No.
It was
Michaela.
What?
Oh, I thought you chimed in saying you knew about Buck v. Bell.
I knew about the story. I was letting you tell it.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. She was a woman that had been determined of low intelligence. I believe they used the old term idiot or moron. I think it was moron because those were official categories. And they forcibly sterilized her when she was in a mental institution. And in court case, but here's the thing. And this was even Oliver Wendell Holmes, who voted in the affirmative, saying it was okay to sterilize one generation of which was flawed. We had somebody basically have their civil rights taken away for this shit. Real time, because many states had sterilization laws.
Yeah, some like 20, 29.
Eugenics movement influenced legislators. That shit, and now we consider that a horrific thing to do because we have a better understanding. Well, the way modern psychologists looked at her case, and the woman in question she wasn't retarded. She was suffering from something like dysthymia.
Well, as it turns out, I think that she was interviewed shortly before her death, and the person that did the interview said that same thing, right? That she was not actually mentally retarded or anything, and but she's far from the only person that happened to, eh?
Oh no, it was common practice. It became common practice.
Yeah, I can remember.
You know what reversed it? Relations of what the Nazis were doing. I want to be like them, so screw this shit.
Yeah, but I can remember, I'm not sure which decade it was, or either the 80s or the 90s, but in the Netherlands, we had a discussion going on to sterilize people who had Down syndrome or were less capable, as in, you're fucking stupid, your IQ level is far below 0 type of people. And that discussion went on a couple of years ago. We're talking about maybe the 80s or 90s. I think it was in the 90s or something. And the discussion was still going on. And it was a serious discussion. And I was like, oh, we'll take the fun out of it. But no, it was serious.
Well, I think there is...
I know. That's amazing.
I think there is like an inherent safety issue regarding someone who is too mentally challenged attempting to raise a child. Because like if you can barely take care of yourself, you can't take care of another person also.
With Down syndrome, actually live productive and happy lives. They pay, they pay taxes. It depends on each individual case. But
I mean, like I said, if they're too bad off and they can barely take care of themselves,
Well,
they
in that case, they become wards of the state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, they don't have the right of consent. If you're declared non-compos mentis, you don't have the right to consent. Who's a minor?
Or to refuse, yeah.
Yeah. So you can't have sex with them. So
I
there's that.
don't know why anyone
You don't need to
would
sterilize somebody. Well,
I imagine there's a fetish
you
for
do
everything.
realize this is planet Earth, right?
Yeah.
You know where you are. Okay, yeah.
And yeah, and so the issue then becomes what?
Und jetzt.
Das weiß ich nicht.
Are we speaking in German now?
Schon etwas. Nicht so viel, aber wir sprechen es. Let's go back to English, shall we?
I don't know. I don't know. I think he just invaded Czechoslovakia. I'm not sure.
Oh no, just Poland.
Are you having a separate conversation?
Who cares?
It's kind of like having to explain to my daughter that if she's talking about the Nazi bell, and she was like, yeah, it's that bell, and I was like, oh, die Glocke, and she's like, yeah, the die Glocke, and I'm going, you just said the bell, sweetie.
Yeah. It's like when people say Mount Fujiyama. It's like you said Fuji Mountain.
Or the Ich bin ein Berliner. I am a jelly donut.
I am a jelly donut. I'm a jelly donut. Yeah, I taste good.
Why are we talking about jelly donuts now?
Oh, we made Joe hungry.
Because JFK, when he was trying to sound smart, he was trying to say, I've been to Berlin, and he added in, instead of Ich bin Berliner, he said Ich bin ein Berliner, which changed it to I'm a jelly donut.
Oh, is that what it made it?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a confection particular to Berlin.
Well, you know, it's like that. What's his face?
The West Germans still loved him anyway. They knew what he meant.
What's his face did that in the 80s, right? Potato. How do you spell potato?
Oh God.
Oh, quail.
God.
Yeah, yes.
Dan Quayle.
Dan Quayle, yes.
Okay, now you're speaking of candidates for eugenics.
Wait. Somebody on that. This is actually kind of awesome. Somebody on that thread was explaining to me, right? They were correcting something. They were grammar Nazi, right? And they put in and I think it was and fuck. And I said, well, no, it's supposed to be a fuck, right? Don't give a fuck. Oh no, because and are apparently interchangeable when it's a singular. And I'm
currently trying to manufacture a noose to hang myself. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's what they taught us in English school.
No.
I'm pretty sure I never taught that to my students because I'm not an idiot.
To do with whether the word started with a consonant or a vowel. At least that's how I was taught.
Same here.
It's a phonetic reason, yes. It's very much like in the proper French there is that liaison thing.
Oh, too bad Kevin's here. He'd tell you there's no such thing as proper French.
Well, yes, that's true. That's true. French is all bastardized shit anyway. No, I have.
So are all modern languages actually, especially English. You can't say that about French when you're talking about English.
Yeah, the French are very assiduous about policing their language.
Yes, they are. Oh yes.
You know, it took them a very long time to figure out what they were going to call a computer because there was no word for it.
Yeah.
And they finally decided on ordinateur, which literally means ordering machine. So Yeah, they're very strict about it.
Yeah,
The
it's not.
Spanish part too.
It is not just the French, but if I look at the Belgians, the Dutch-speaking Belgians, the language itself, they refuse to use French words. There is a Dutch word for it. We'll
Yeah.
use it.
Yeah, because
and then let's not forget the politics that enter into language. Too.
Yeah, that has something to do with it, of course, but
filthy French.
Yes, it's filthy. It's disgusting. And you know what? My Spanish is disgusting too. My Spanish is so bad, and it's not. It's just that it's considered bad if you speak Spanish like from Puerto Rico, because all of the rest of the Spanish-speaking world does it differently, and there's so much
It's
American
not
influence.
Spanish. Yeah.
No, and it really isn't. There's so much American influence. It's like the French joie here, and just Quebecois French is different, wildly different. There's a huge English influence to the language that you can tell if you speak either one, either the Parisian French or Quebecois French. You know, it's very very different. Yeah, my Spanish is considered like the garbagey Spanish, because the Americans, they've ruined it.
Yeah, I made the mistake of somebody from Spain. I said, "Oh, so you speak Spanish?" And they were like, "No, I speak proper Spanish." And I'm sitting there going, "I just said you speak Spanish, you spick."
And no, it's proper. Well, because
that Castilian?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, they try very hard, but you can't get around how language
Catalan.
grows.
They make a distinction. No, I speak Catalan, Spanish.
They're very.
That's different.
Yeah.
These older cultures, I guess it's an older cultural thing. I can't really say. Very protective of the language itself, man. As if that were, But the thing is that language doesn't work in that fashion. It just doesn't work in that fashion. I've seen it over the past, I don't know, 7 or 8 years or 10 years that I've been online. Like, it went from what was it they used to call it, pwned. Now
pwned, yes.
Now
Which
it's
was from it became popular because of a misspelling someone made in a chat, and I think it was in WoW.
Yep.
And now
yeah.
But now the appropriate term seems to be wrecked.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Also misspelled. R-E-K-T.
R-E-K-T, yes. And so that's how language works. It changes, and if you're not
Utilitarian aspect and common usage, so that's going to be functional. Yeah, language has to be functional first and foremost.
Yeah, and I don't particularly enjoy the use of the term cisgendered, but it's a thing now.
Oh God!
And so many people use it that if you don't learn to use it, then part of what you're trying to say may get lost.
Well, with the cisgender, that's just technically proper terminology, because otherwise it's basically saying, again, cisgendered, it's basically saying if you don't put the cis in front of it, that means that those who are non-trans, those are the normal people, and trans people are the aberrants. We just started using the term again. Yeah,
but it was internal Kant before it became by Kant. It's a language, almost like a trade language.
And so,
I guess C-A-N-T, no apostrophe, Kant. And it became common use. It's common usage among you. Go to most people who don't even deal with trans issues. They're gonna add, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Well, it's
common within that realm if you're discussing the issue.
Well, the thing is that these terms do eventually bleed into the language, and
sure.
And you've got to accept it. I'm sorry, but you got to accept it.
It's a made up term.
well, all terms.
replace normal, which I'm fine with, I guess. But a lot of times when it's used, like you had the whole die, cis, scum, die thing and all of that. So language can also be used to enforce division.
Well, I mean, when you say made up, like I agree to an extent.
All
but I
language
think,
is made up.
but you're right. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah. Now, if you want to make the distinction that some language is made up or with a political.
Okay, let me just 1 second. What I really mean when I say made up, let me clarify. It was a very conscious effort to influence the language.
Right. Well,
in other places, it's a little more organic. You see the distinction. Yeah.
No,
there was a conscious effort to cis normative a term, a thing.
Well, yeah,
by activists, which I don't care.
No, there's a difference. Just the difference between like a political motivation, a particularly and explicitly political motivation for creating a term or using a term more than another term, versus the sort of organic normal growth that happens in any language when words are used.
But he creates something new and it just clicks and other people start using it because it makes sense.
Yeah, like truthiness.
Like pwned.
Yeah, and like
within the gaming community that made sense. Yeah. Truthiness, I think I put in the former category.
Maybe, but it does seem to work.
It did catch on because people kind of got it.
Yeah.
That was Stephen Colbert.
Yeah, that was Colbert. Yeah,
he did that deliberate versus organic, I guess. Yeah.
And so there's this thing on this thread, and what I have to say is about it. I really don't want to get into it, actually, but what I want to say about that thread in general was that people don't seem to get. I was told that there was several references to popularity, right? And I don't think that the younger crowd gets this, and maybe it's a thing about the internet and the way that likes and dislikes and hearts and follows and subs and all that. Like, I'm actually quite proud that racists don't like me. Like the few that you can sort of tell are maybe racist.
You are defined by your enemies. You're defined by your enemies as well as your friends.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there going, you don't seem to get this shit, do you? I don't need to and don't go watch it because it was for them that I made it. I made a 20-minute video basically ranting and calling this kid names and shit to let them prove a point, right? And the point was, right, poor Vern, right?
You laid out.
Yeah, I laid out, yeah. Poor Vern, right? And I don't disagree. Yeah. I don't necessarily disagree with the kid, right? I really don't. You can sort of understand what he's saying. And one of the things that he says in his little video is that you can tell a pseudo-intellectual by the fact that they can't get past your language. If you have a salty mouth, if you use naughty words, you can tell a pseudo-intellectual because they will focus on those naughty words and not a.
Was that Vern's position? Because I'm kind of like forgetting a little shit. Like I said, I got a lot of shit going on.
This is his position.
You use naughty words, that makes you a pseudo-intellect.
No, not if you use the naughty words. If you can't get past them, right? Oh. He says, I forget the exact example, but essentially it's like if you were to say, boys have a penis, girls have a vagina, is the exact same statement as boys have a penis, girls have a vagina, you fucking shit-faced bastard. That adding that little bit to it changes nothing about the factual statement itself.
No.
And I just picked that just,
It certainly changes the mood.
Well, yes, it does do that. It does do that.
So it's a question of rhetoric.
Well,
I guess.
right.
Yeah.
So I get what he's saying, but the problem was that I took that and I said, okay, well, let's see. And I made a 20-minute video with foul language and, my typical loud volume.
Yeah.
And these motherfuckers lost it. And I'm like, dude, you are, what is it? You wrecked you. If that's a thing.
Yeah.
No,
you wrecked yourself would technically be the term.
Yeah, you wrecked yourself.
Yeah, in meme country it would be
that actually is outside gaming. That's kind of black vernacular. Saying, excuse me, urban.
Well, it used
check
to
yourself
check yourself
before you wreck yourself.
It used to be that.
Yeah, that was street.
Cultural appropriation.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I'm sitting there seeing people go, yeah, I know what you're doing. You're just making this shit up. I'm like, no, dude, I actually don't have to spend 20 minutes cursing at someone I barely fucking know.
Right. It's because you don't have a real argument.
Yeah.
That whole fucking...
Those people need a throat punch.
And I'm sitting there.
I am saying I like this new Micaiah. I like the cut of your chin.
And I'm sitting there going, this is not bad. I get why Milo does this. I get it. It's like, yeah, I get this. This is good. Why not?
And I'm sorry, somebody in the commons, which would be the internet, throwing around the term pseudo-intellectual is a pseudo-intellectual.
Yeah, and no. He takes great pains to say, I don't like the term pseudo. I don't like the term intellectual because invariably it becomes about that and not some others. Like, dude, you are too young.
Yeah. You're doing it anyway. Yeah.
And I'm like, dude,
aggressive bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm like, kid, you are too young to be this arrogant. You're just not old enough.
Come on, Joe. Don't you remember when you were like 17, 18, 19 and you knew everything? I miss
And
those
I knew
days.
everything, yes, and I was completely invincible. Yes,
I miss those days.
I don't. I gotta say, I did some of my dumb shit.
I don't either. I'm glad I'm done with it. I'm good.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things that I find it more, but I find it more than a generational gap thing now. I think that what I've been noticing, and maybe it's me, right? You give me your perspective, you guys. What I've been noticing is that the language is just being, to use their phrase, is getting wrecked.
Yeah.
Like, you got to put /s behind something so people can understand that you're being sarcastic.
That gets me. It's like you need actual visual clues in the text to tell you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's even with talking these days, like using my girls for an example. They're 18 and 19 years old, and they still, to this day, have trouble telling when I'm being sarcastic or not, even when I'm sitting there with like a raised eyebrow smirking at them as I say it.
Yeah.
They can't, they don't get, these kids don't get sarcasm these days. Everything is literal.
And like, I mean, I have wrestled with this for a while because it's, that's what I used to do. I used to increase people's vocabulary. You can't write if you don't know the words. And I'm sitting there going, what do you mean all caps is yelling? All caps, what about people? There was one guy, actually, that made the point for me on another thread months back, maybe a year ago, maybe. And he's like, yeah, I'm partially blind. So
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
The only letters that I can see are all in caps. It's easier for me, and that's why I do it.
Yeah.
I kind of get that one, though.
I know a guy who does that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, why don't you understand? Why there's so little understanding of things now. Like everything is so literal that you don't get it. You can actually sit there and tell me that that Zoe post is somehow the same as the assassination of a world leader.
Oh, I know. Taking it to that degree, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck do you not understand about language that makes it so difficult for you to find a metaphor that's a little bit more apropos? Why is this so?
And never mind using analogies. I get slapped all. No matter how good my analogy is, it's bad.
Like,
amazingly, that critique comes from whoever I'm arguing with.
Yeah,
analogies are verboten now.
Well, it's like that. Look, I'm pretty sure that everyone who is not an ideological nut job knows that I do not class all black people or all white people or all any people in any group, like in that pejorative sense that racists do, like the real like David Duke racists.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that I spend Sunday nights making as many racist jokes as I can possibly think up. Because, adults know, okay, maybe it's offensive and crass, maybe, but you probably don't go around wanting to lynch white people or shoot blacks or,
Right.
But today it's completely lost. And like when someone like this retard says,
well, it depends on who you are.
What?
Yeah. It depends on who you are. The context of who you are and what you say is what defines what it means.
Well, yeah, it's like
it infuriates me to no end.
The thing of it, like I had when the AIU thing was going on, I was like, people were asking me, well, show me the evidence. Like, dude, go watch the videos.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's not a... Yeah, it actually is. Yeah. If you put that in a court of law in front of grown...
it is. You ascribe characteristics to a particular demographic based on their ethnicity, yes. That's racism or bigotry if it's outside.
Or bigotry, right, if it's like sexist or, Yeah.
I love those people who like scream, like, well, Islam isn't a race. It's all like, yeah, you're right. And by the way, I didn't call you a racist. I called you a bigot against somebody because they they believe in a certain religion or creed. Suck it. You're a bigot. Are you happy now?
Yeah.
Yeah, growing up for me, it was, how do my parents put it? A bigot is somebody who is uneducated and doesn't know any better when it comes to things like race and sexism. A racist is somebody who knows better but does it anyway. That's how my parents explained it to me.
Well, yeah, I mean...
Isn't bigoted, isn't the definition of bigoted basically the same as the definition of ignorant?
Not
similar.
Necessarily. There are people I'd have to disagree with your parents. Yeah, there's people who do it deliberately, who are so addicted to their hate that they already do know better, but they do it anyway.
But that's the thing. Nobody today, nobody on the alt-right and nobody on the far regressive left wants to make the distinction between deliberate and just ignorant, because I've always made this distinction between stupid and ignorant. That's when I think that
ignorant just means you don't have the knowledge or never had the access to the knowledge.
Yeah,
if you want to watch somebody's head explode, use the term retard. That is like my go-to word because. And the funny thing is that I actually send people the link to Christopher Titus's thing on the word retard because that's how I use it. It's if you have all of your mental faculties together, you have no disabilities whatsoever, and you still act like a fucknut, you're a retard. And if somebody calls, like my daughter, my eldest, who has cerebral palsy, if they call her a retard, they're getting throat punched. And it's not going to be the nice little Justin Bieber you can't sing anymore. It's the Michael Jackson throat punch. You're dead.
The actual dictionary definition of retard to be, like you have a plant that's stunted.
Yeah.
growth.
Right.
So there's that aspect of it too. It's like, yeah, you're retarded. You're not. You didn't grow properly because you grew up in an environment where you have this knowledge, and especially in an age where you're a keyboard away. It's the sum of all human knowledge.
God, I hate those people.
Yeah.
I need a citation for this. Do your fingers not work?
Do you not understand a Google search box? Is
You
this
know
too
that's
much?
done on purpose, though, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
is why I belittle them and make them feel like shit.
Well, I see citation needed used most commonly when someone makes a claim that is rather outrageous and likely false.
I see it used
That's
all
in
the
the proper. That's in the proper context,
In
and I'll do that.
yes.
It's all like, do you have any evidence of this? You're claiming something pretty extraordinary, so I need some extraordinary evidence, and I'm not aware of this extraordinary evidence. So please show it to me.
But look,
There is proper context.
look
But
there's,
you know, when somebody says, when I say, you know what, water's wet, citation needed. You know, when it's, you know, obvious facts that are in obvious. That's when.
But see, what I've come to the conclusion that this is no longer possible. That position that you just elucidated is no longer possible to hold. And I'll tell you why. It's not that you're wrong. It's this. There used to be a common body of knowledge that people shared in common. Even if you were not, you know, and some of it was clearly wrong or whatever, but there was a common, there was a consensus, right? The world was fucking round, okay, or you know, spherical, right?
Now you get people arguing about that.
Now you got people, you're right, fighting about
Jesus Christ, nuke it from orbit. Oh, wait a minute, orbits don't exist because the world's flat.
Right, because the world's flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, my kid was already screaming that this morning.
Yeah, and the moon is just an holographic projection.
Yeah. And so this body of knowledge, and you know what the funniest thing is that the worldview that I see these people espouse, right? Their ideological position that feminism did this and the schools are this and single moms and my dad wasn't around, and it contradicts so much of what you say.
Remember? Yay, donut.
If you have the, and I've mentioned this before, I think probably, if you grew up in this world that is so feminized, right, and that you didn't have, like, your mama divorced your daddy, and you know you can only see him once a month or twice, you know, once every couple of weeks, and who taught you to be a man in the traditional sense of the term man? And what makes you think that if you accept the notion, right, and you can't really, it's really ridiculous to dispute it at this point, right? Gender is one thing, sex is another, right? They're used in different ways, those two words, right?
Yeah, we're using context, I think. Yeah.
Now, I think that what you are is male, right? If you're one of these little kids, if you're one of these little vernaculous minions, or you're male.
Yeah.
You are not what I call a man, because men, and you don't like this, say this, right? John Hembling is a great example of it, right? He's always on about male disposability. That is part of being a man. I'm sorry, call me a patriarch if you want, but men.
You are you are being very
yes, I am.
Actually, but that's okay. Go ahead.
I'm an old fuck raised in an old traditional way. But if that's what you mean by man,
and very Spanish too.
Yes, very, for real. Yeah. You know, but not Spanish enough for some people.
No.
Like,
we'll just go for Hispanic.
Yeah. Wait, no. Doesn't have to be like
cis. We'll go for Hispanic.
Yeah, because I mean, like if it's Hispanic, that's sexist. What if I'm really?
So it's Hispanic. Yeah.
Yeah, because what about her Hispanic?
Yeah, really, seriously.
God, now you're going to remind me of man cheese. God, that cunt.
Oh, Diana Boston. You know, I
Yeah,
used to know.
her
I
little
used to know.
herstory.
Mm-hmm.
I'm her before she became radicalized.
Wait,
I
she
think
wasn't always a radical crazy?
No, this is back a few years ago. I met her. I don't know if you guys know a guy named Mendham. He used to do there was a
The antinatalist guy?
website. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, these
yeah.
are all part of the quote unquote great debate community, atheist community.
The ancient times of YouTube.
Yes, the ancient time. Well, it was Stickum. There was
Yeah,
it's
I'm
kind of like
sticking.
what Hangout, yeah, ancient Hangout software. And I actually slowly watched her, and she really started showing some racism too.
yeah, she showed up on my channel, and it was I had done nothing to draw her ire. This was when I had just come out as trans, and I was doing a few videos, and she just sat there and attacked me, and I'm sitting there going, dude, I'm a social sciences major and an anthropology studier. I've studied the world. I know that this is more than the puritanical two sexes thing. Oh, now you're trying to culturally appropriate it. I started not even reading the first. I read maybe the first line that she wrote, and then I played with her like a cat batting at a wounded mouse.
Yeah, that's frowned upon.
The thing is, the turf, the turf shit, be that way. And I watched her slowly being, radicalized, because that's, oh fuck, what's her name? Like Gail, the real crazy one, the gender separatist.
You're gonna have to
Sheila Jeffries. Are you familiar with Sheila Jeffries?
Nope. I'm very.
Yeah, that's where that. Well, okay, that's fine. Well, to explain it, it's that brand of radical feminism, which isn't a naughty word to me, by the way, but it's that brand that became mainstream, and it's really this paranoia because, especially male to female trans infiltrators. They're infiltrators. They're spies.
They're really just dudes that want to get closer to the
patriarchy. Agents of the patriarchy that are willing to undergo the gender surgery or the hormone surgeries just so they can invade women's spaces. It's some really crazy fucking shit. And
I used to believe it. I actually used to believe that sort of thing, and I viewed trans women as, what the fuck are you doing? You have a penis, get the fuck out of here, you're actually a man, type thing. And then I realized, oh, I'm projecting a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
And I've been called a gender traitor by quite a few people ever since I came out as a man.
Right.
So we're talking about the Julie Bindel types, right? We're talking about the...
Yeah, Julia Bindel. I'm surprised the name Sheila Jeffries isn't familiar to you, but yeah, she's the real crazy one.
Yeah,
I don't follow very many feminist stuff. I basically went.
If you ever want to go down the rabbit hole, just read some Sheila Jeffries.
No, if I want to go down the rabbit hole, I go and talk to my kid after she's smoked some pot.
That sounds like the more pleasant, less.
Yes, the less stressful. It's follow the white
less
rabbit.
fangly. Yeah, the less fangly, venomous rabbit hole.
Yeah. It's follow the white rabbit time. It's like a game. Yeah. So these people are, and I don't know, maybe right, because everybody, it's a truism that everybody sees things through the lens of what they do, right? So like, ask a chemist to explain something, and they'll explain it one way, and ask a physicist to explain the exact same phenomena, and they'll explain it in a different way.
Through the lens of energy instead of matter, yeah.
Right. And so
everybody has their filters. Everybody has their reality tunnel. It's if you recognize it and you're able to get outside of it.
That's the thing.
Actually, what makes someone an intellectual to me. So anybody, even if you're a car mechanic who's never read a shred of philosophy, if they have that ability to get outside of themselves, which you see, some people are able to do that. That's a good indication that you have healthy intellect. To me, anyway.
Yeah, no, that's I agree. That's pretty much how I view it. But the thing is, right? I see all this lack of like when Carl did his thing, right? When Carl did his thing, my issue was, dude, you're being wildly vague about this. I'm down with you. I understand what you're saying. The
Oh yeah.
vision, right? And I made that point to him several times, as I recall, and I was always wrong, and I'm a dick about it apparently. But then he came out and said the same thing when some of his true believers told him, "Hey, this is kind of vague."
Oh, the people in the cheap seats,
Yeah.
fanboys.
Yeah, the fanboys.
Not about the argument; it's about the personality, and I can't stand that shit. I really cannot.
And it's and there's the thing for me. It's like I see everything through that lens, right? You don't understand language, and I see it over and over and over. Like, dude, you just said the same thing that I said. Like
it's
I don't.
It's what I was talking about earlier. It's who said it. The context of who said it is important now, not what's being said.
Yeah, because that's for me. If I'll say something, and there was when Joe did the hangout about language, and we got that one guy on that was going on about something about language, and I sat there and I explained it to him. And I explained the whole thing about language and everything, and he completely discounted me. Just completely, ignored me. And then some guy...
I did that.
No, the guy that was on the chat.
No, the
you
guy
and I were saying... Yeah, you and I were saying the same thing to this guy, Joe. But this one guy in the chat, who was very notably male, said the exact same fucking thing. And the guy, the guest, was like, I get that, and I understand that, and that's really interesting. I had to mute myself, and I actually hopped on and was just fucking screaming bloody murder. Because it was like, I said the exact same thing, but he discounted me. And I'm like, okay, if he discounted me because I sound like a fucking woman, I'm finding him. And I'm going to beat him to death.
Yeah, so that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because I'm saying it's even more specific. I'm saying it's even more specific than that. It's personality. So, like say Carl says something. You got me doing it now. Sargon says something. And Joe says something. And it's the same fucking thing. But, that came from Joe. Fuck, I disagree with that. Oh, Sargon said it. Yay! Hooray for Sargon! Hooray! That's you see a lot of that. But I get what you're saying.
You're cutting out every so often here.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, that's all right. Yeah, you can't help it.
Yeah.
And so
what I'm saying is, what the basic point is, if you're hearing me, is I'm saying it's even more specific than like the gender of who's saying it. Even though I recognize that what Makia is saying, it's cult of personality. Is the phrase I'm looking for. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I can't tell if I'm cutting in or out, so that
You're
was the
cutting
point.
out a bit. And I can't tell. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. This shit is fucking for fuck's sake. Then I gotta lower my audio here a second. All right, there. You on?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, good. Okay.
I had to turn on my mic for some reason. The browser crashed without an error message, and I had to reboot everything.
Please stand by.
Yeah, and when I came back, I noticed that my microphone was at a different level than before, and that's on my computer.
That was probably me.
So it's like, ooh, let's turn this down a bit.
Yeah, Hangouts have been poopy.
Yeah, and I'm not, I'm in the control room and I'm not. I have no idea what I'm doing. It looks like it should. It looks like it's the way it's supposed to be.
Okay, so we got to cult of personality, and somebody's filter determines the validity of a statement.
Yeah,
to sum
and
up.
so and
Case of where it was gender based.
cutting out again.
God damn it! don't-
It's not cutting out again for me.
Yeah, I think it's you, Joe.
Yeah, I think that may be on your end, Joe.
Maybe it's me then. It might be my connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been having sporadic problems for a while, for a couple of days.
I'm like right next. I'm using a wireless headset, but I'm right next to the station.
Yeah,
So it shouldn't be me.
I'm hearing Beach perfectly.
Yeah, I'm not hearing you guys perfectly. But yeah.
I'm like right next. I'm using a wireless headset, but I'm right next to the station.
Yeah,
My last statement.
I'm hearing.
Are you replaying the Hangout?
I'm having deja vu.
All over again.
No, I was like, woo!
Ooh, a glitch in the matrix.
Glitch in the matrix.
All right.
Okay, Joe, I think you're playing the Hangout from the outside on the YouTube channel.
No.
We can hear it.
No, I have an
Okay.
echo and I don't know where the fuck it's coming from. It's not the computer.
I can hear you perfectly.
All right. Well, hopefully that'll fix it. I think I did it. I'm not sure.
All right.
But yeah.
Do you have any other programs running that are or
No. I always turn everything off except for
okay?
task management in case I need to shut something down fast.
No, that shouldn't have any effect.
And so I'm you know, it's these comments and so for me, right, it's language, right? And I'm like you assume so much you have no right to assume. Like this one guy here says, never seen someone get so mad at the internet. Dude, I'm not mad at the internet, and I'm not mad at Vern. If you knew what the hell was going on, you know, you would know that I just used Vern as a reference, and my issue was with Carl, and now my issue is demonstrating that you're an idiot, which is not that hard. Am I cutting out again?
No.
No,
I was drinking. Sorry.
We're just trying to you stop.
Oh God, that's scary. That's scary. You shouldn't.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that. And you definitely shouldn't tell me when you're doing that. So there's this guy.
Well,
right?
I'm actually just see if the software is working correctly or the connection. So.
Okay, so everything seems good now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I'm a little cautious. Yeah.
And so what I decided was, and one thing that I decided was this: on the website, on problematic people, right? There's this one kid that left a comment and said he was 15, and I IP blocked him because this is a website for grown-ups to talk. You know, if you're 15, I'm not saying you may not be right about something. I'm saying I don't care. Come back when, you know, you are past puberty. But I got guys here telling me that there's this one dude. I said thanks for the views, right? And I said, and some dude said to me, it's okay. I use ad block so you don't get any ad revenue from me. So what I've decided that I'm going to do is, if you don't want to pay, if you want to be entertained, right? I'm entertaining to you. Okay. If you don't want to pay, and it's not even you really, it's YouTube, but whatever, I'm going to block your ass. You're going to clog up my timeline, the comment section with bullshit. I'm blocking you. Unless you're paying, then I'm blocking you.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Unless you got a note from your parents.
Yeah. If you got a note from your parents, then if you tell me, you know, that you're 15 or 16, yeah, I'm blocking you. You're not old enough.
That's your website, your house, your rules.
Yeah, and on my
That's
channel the same thing. What I have decided that this is I may get rid of part of my Netflix subscription. I kid you not, because
Part of it?
like
How
I
do you get rid of part of it?
well, you can pay for like 2 screens, right? So that means that 2 people can be
Oh,
watching
yeah.
different things,
hmm
or you can pay for like 4, or I think 6 is the next one, and then there's more than that, right? There's an unlimited thing.
Yeah.
So like, because the 5 kids, right? So I might have one kid watching SpongeBob over there, and if I only pay for 2, then one kid can watch something else, and then the other 3 got to watch one of the first 2 things, or they can't watch anything else, right? So I think I'm gonna get rid of part of mine because I pay for a big one, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find stupid people and piss them off. It's not that hard, apparently.
Okay.
And so
Did you
I
just
think,
cut out or you
huh?
stop talking? I'm still worried about what the condition of the software is.
Oh,
He just paused.
and so I think that Hard Day at the Salt Mines is going to be a recurring Saturday thing. I just
Okay.
got to find somebody to piss off.
Okay, just as an announcement, yeah, because I'm just doing this moving thing, and it's real frustrating because I'm waiting on other people. But I will probably be dark for anywhere from 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks. Just
Okay,
to let you
yeah,
know.
but soon enough you'll be back too.
Yes,
And
absolutely. Yeah,
and so,
absolutely.
are there any suggestions? I saw that what the fuck is that dude's name? I don't know. All them Jews look the same to me. That David Rubin, or is it Paul Rubin, or what the fuck is
Well,
that?
David Rubin, the guy who used to be on Young Turks, I believe, right?
I guess
Yeah,
maybe.
he's
David
the
Rubin,
report guy.
yeah, Rubin Report. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the guy. He made a video that was so monumentally obtuse. He was talking about the alt right.
Ugh.
He was talking about the alt right and how they're wacky people. You know, the wild and wacky internet. I kid you.
Yeah,
And I'm like, yeah, no, that's
I mean, yeah, you got people like David Serini, who's alt right. In fact,
well, yeah,
probably the
yeah. And
proper
they're just,
definition. But yeah,
but you know, he in the video, right? If you watch it, and I suppose I'll link it below. Um, he's very he downplays it, right? Like it's just a bunch of kids having fun and shit.
oh no, it's not.
And I said to myself, really, let me look up people who've been swatted. And it's
I
like,
actually made a connection, but I'll let you finish. Yeah, I got something to say on this, but go ahead.
no, because I was gonna say just there's a lot of them.
Okay, are you familiar with a group called American Renaissance?
I actually came across that name. I haven't done any more research on.
Okay, American Renaissance. You got people like David Horowitz, a few other names. They are what you would consider the alt right.
Okay.
In other words, the real right of the umbrella term conservative movement, because not everybody in the conservative movement's a complete whack job.
Yeah.
Culture warriors.
Yeah.
And culture war's been around forever, really. But American Renaissance has been around since the 80s.
Okay.
And they actually, and I was looking through some of their shit because I was seeing some of this shit coming from, veteran, and I'm like, this shit sounds familiar. It's meet the new boss, same as the old boss.
Yes.
They were actually throwing around the term alt right because before the age of the conservative, that shit. If you know the term rhino,
yeah, Republican.
they were doing this shit back in the 80s. Okay, so American Renaissance is very well established. They have an event every year. These fuckers make CPAC look to sell.
Yeah,
conservative.
Yeah.
Yeah. These guys are very hard right in the cultural all of this language you're hearing, you know, cultural Marxism, yada yada yada. That shit's been around.
Yeah, it's
In
been around
fact,
for a
you can even trace that shit back to the John Birch Society. You hear that term alt-right, these kiddies think it's something new. And there are a lot of kiddies who think, because you can, you know, kiddie, you know, we weren't any different, so we're going to go against the grain, right?
Yeah.
A lot of those kids are like, oh, I can be anti-PC, and all I got to do is say these words to trigger people. Yeah, you got, you know, just kids, trolls, whatever you want to fucking call them. But the alt-right, as a serious movement, it's been around.
It's been around for a while.
Yeah, this is just a rebranding,
A rebranding of it. Yeah.
term that's been bandied about in those circles for a long time, becoming mainstream.
And the thing
I
is,
just wanted to give you a little background on that. That, you know, it's meet the new boss, same as the old boss,
and this
a different decade.
yeah, and this Ruben cat, he makes it sound like they're new and they're just, you know, just kids out to have a good time. It's really nothing serious. You don't got to
Or
worry.
they're the edgy, or paint them as edgy hipsters. You know, yeah, that whole no bullshit.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there going, you're either the stupidest motherfucker on the internet right now, which is saying a lot, or you're just.
I was about to say there's a lot of stiff competition.
Oh yeah,
there.
Or you're just another one of them, these retards that needs to fucking piss people off for no reason. And so yeah, so I was thinking of him, but I also came across. Let me see. Oh no, I don't have it. Oh.
Okay, you were. Hold on a second. You were warbling there a little bit.
Okay, sorry. I also came across this study, right? And I'm reading it, and it's the let me see if I can find it. Recently closed. No, I can't. Recently closed. Fuck me. All right. Anyway, it's this. Oh, it's about.
Bless you.
The arrest.
Thank you.
It's about. It's the 2012 FBI, the arrest statistics and everything. And I'm looking at it and I'm going, oh shit.
Oh yeah.
And wait a minute. Okay, so
are we sliding into the Negroes need to stop committing?
Yeah. Because I'm looking at it, and I'm going, oh fuck, I didn't know this. Because everybody's always on about, right, like the murder rates and the black on black crime and all that, which is, yes, it's a problem. Of course it is. But
right.
I'm looking at the statistics and I'm going,
nobody on this side of nobody.
What?
That's Beach cutting out.
Nobody.
Yeah, Beach keeps cutting out.
Yeah. And so if you find yourself saying something along the lines of, oh, so the facts are racist, or something like that, then you're probably a racist.
Yeah.
I'm just saying probably. Because I'm looking at the statistics and I'm going, oh shit.
My answer to that,
And again, he cut out.
Yep.
Okay. Dude, you're gonna have to beat your computer.
Oh.
And so, if you try,
you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do a
Yeah, and see if you. Yeah. All right. And I'm looking at the statistics, right? And I'm like, oh shit. If I was a dick, I would be like, y'all white people is some thieving, lying motherfuckers. Y'all niggas is always high. Y'all be beating your kids like it's going out of style. Because the arrest numbers, right, are huge.
Yep.
And the difference between the the non-manslaughter crimes or whatever it is, it's like, oh, you know what, are so preposterous. I'm like, there's a 2% difference. there's like a 2% difference in that number, right, between whites and blacks. And I'm like, okay, everybody talks about that because that's a big deal. But nobody ever talks about who's committing more arson and who's committing more assaults and who's beating the shit out their kids more. And, and I'm like, yeah, oh my God. If I wanted to be a racist, fuck.
Well, with the beating the shit out of the kids thing, I'd be interested to like look at an analysis of that because I've noticed a cultural difference regarding things like switches found in the upbringing of blacks are generally not found in the white community as popular in terms of like that form of discipline might be regarded as abusive in much of the white community, whereas so like I mean that's just oh sorry that was just one thing that came to mind.
See look, adults what they do is they look at the numbers and understand that the numbers are there to instigate a conversation about what should be done and why things are the way they are. But to the race realist, it's just the number, right? And so, like, the difference between, let me see if I can pull it up here. Okay, look, murder and non-negligent manslaughter. You got, for whites, the number is 4,101, and these are the arrests, right? Versus 4,203 for blacks, right? That's a 2.4.5, something like that, % difference in the numbers.
Is that absolute total or is that per capita?
No, that's absolute. That's
okay.
Absolute. Now the thing about it is, and I know because I've heard this before. Yeah, but you gotta look at the per capita numbers. No, you don't. Who said? Who said you gotta look at? Who said that? Where is some motherfucker saying you gotta look at the per capita numbers? You can't look at the other ones. Aha! You don't gotta. You can look at any. That's the problem, huh?
I notice it seems like in all discussions you have one side, completely disregards, like per capita, or like they choose the stat that fits their narrative.
That's the problem with
and
stats.
They disregard the other half.
Exactly. That's the problem with stats, right? There's a lot of the BLM people don't want to talk about black on black crime, and that's a fucking issue. Of course it is. But listen to this. This is because if you wanted to be a racist prick, and you'll see the video when I'm done with it. If you want to be a racist prick about it, look at this. Listen to this. Forcible rape. 9,027 forcible rape arrests. Guess who did that?
Whites.
That's right. And the number for blacks is 4,512.
That's a large difference.
That's huge. That's more than twice. Now, the responsible adult says, all right, well, how many do we estimate have been unreported in each community? Where are these rapes happening? You see what I'm saying? That's what responsible grown-ups do. But look at the numbers are fucking huge. Burglary, right? 67,554 arrests for black people. 67,000. 147,156 for whites. That's a difference of about 79,000. 79,000 more white people were arrested as burglars for being burglars than black people. 79,000. That's a big number.
Yeah.
That's a lot of TVs. So when you make jokes about stolen TVs, it shouldn't be about black people.
So in other words, if you want to have a stolen TV or the one who fell off the lorry, you don't want to go to a black person but to a white person.
Yeah.
The chances of you getting one from a white person is twice as high than from a black person.
Yeah. For sure. More than twice as high.
Yeah, actually more than that, but
Yeah, larceny is 677,895 for whites and 288,025 for blacks. That's like a difference of like almost 400,000, 300 and something thousand. Motor vehicle theft, 16,000. I'm rounding them off. 16,000 for blacks, 35,000 for whites. Arson, 6,500 for white people, 2,000 for blacks.
but here's the biggest question of all. What are the numbers for bicycles?
Get real. There's a lot of people that lose bicycles for. Yeah, I like my bicycle. I like mine. I mean, the numbers are staggering, and of course, it's to do with just the sheer amount of people. That has something to do with it, obviously.
Yeah.
But my point is not that. That's true, and we need to, discuss that and hash that out. But the race realists don't do that. They don't. And these are the first. I was astounded by these numbers because nobody ever looks at them. They only look at the murder rate, and the murder rate is like there's a 2% difference between whites and blacks. I mean, but embezzlement, 8,000 for blacks, 12,000 for whites. Stolen property, 50,000 for blacks, 75,000 for whites. You get my point here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The numbers are ridiculous, and anyone who's a black person or a Hispanic person or whatever who's a racist is going to just point these out. So I don't know. What video should I make first? A video about the facts aren't racist? Facts are not racist, yo. and wow, these numbers are really wild. Or should I do a Dave Rubin video because he apparently is unfamiliar with the alt-right? Or suggestions. I'm willing to take a suggestion. That's fine.
That's a good one. Which to do first? Personally, I would go for the numbers first and then do the other one after that, using the first video as well. You saw the first video. Here are the numbers, and here's this person doing something else, and not ignoring a lot of numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with Eon.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you guys have seen that might be worthy of invoking their names? I feel like I'm calling Satan down or something. Right? Yeah.
Don't forget to sacrifice a goat stick or two.
Well, yes, I have a chicken somewhere, probably in the freezer or something. I don't know, but I'll get one.
It works. Frozen, alive, still a sacrifice.
Yeah, no, but it doesn't spurt. The blood doesn't spurt if it's not alive. It's got to be alive, I think. I'm pretty sure.
It can be simulated. Come on.
Well, I guess, I guess so. Ooh,
Yeah, just put a balloon in it with some blood and a lot of air as soon as you.
The local stores put out their Halloween costume shit, and I saw some of that today. Some of those.
Oh yeah.
You put the little bag like under your arm or in your hand or something, and you spurt fake blood all over your friends. That's awesome.
Together with a panda suit. There you go.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I didn't see a panda suit in the store though. I saw a banana suit though.
Yeah. Banana. Panda is much better.
It's getting old. Yeah, so I thought, this is kind of cool. I may have to get rid of my my Netflix shit for me, and just do this all week.
Yeah, no, about your Netflix. It depends on how much computers you got lying about, older ones. But if you were to install Kodi on them, it is a distribution, a Linux distribution, but it is just a media player. I'm using it in our master bedroom on our big screen there. Got a little Raspberry Pi with Kodi on it, and we're watching television
Oh,
on
that
it.
that's kind of awesome. I had thought of doing it with one of my old Xboxes because I've got
Uh,
like three,
yeah, you could do that.
and I think I can put Linux on it, and then
You're talking about the original Xbox, right?
yeah, the original
Yeah,
Xbox.
yeah, you got Kodi or OSMC for that one as well. It's a bit of a trick to get it installed, but you can install it, and you can use it as a media player.
I can actually, I actually can accomplish that. I haven't worked on computers in a very long time, but I can probably accomplish that. Um, so yeah, so yeah, I think you know what? If you're listening to this still, if you're one of some of these motherfuckers, it's like it's 19 minutes, nigga. Why did you watch it? Why did you don't like me? Why did you watch it? You think I'm stupid? You think I'm high? Why did you watch it? Like, why do you sit there if I'm fucking somebody that it feels like I'm getting my dick cut apart in there? I take my dick out. I don't keep doing it. How is this difficult?
Well, if you're getting your dick out, just say "dick's out for Harambe." You
Yeah.
should be
Yeah,
fine.
dick's
Yeah,
out for
for
Harambe.
Harambe.
Hail Satan. I mean, I don't understand these motherfuckers. I really like. Sometimes I sit here. I've been looking at this thread, right, and I've been prone to like there are papers that I've read that like were difficult to read, right? It's a lot of it is kind of feminist shit, right? When I was in college, and I would sit there and read the same paragraph 7, 8, 9 times. Like, what the fuck is this bitch saying? The hell is this? And I'm sitting in front of this comment thread, and I'm like, why are you this stupid? How can you possibly be this fucking stupid? And then you know what? Vern, he deleted the comment. He called me. He said that I was an attention leak. I'm like, dude, who put a gun to your head? This video is 4 months old, kid. Why are you even in internet time? That's like what, a bazillion years?
Oh yeah.
It's a 4 month old video. You don't even gotta look at it. Why are you looking at it? I had like 99 subscribers. 99. That's it. That's it. Now I got 103.
Ooh, big numbers.
Yeah, it's like, woo. But why are you looking at this? Why do you care? How bored are you? And how sad is that? How bored are you if you're going to sit through somebody's 20-minute shitty video who you don't like, who you think is stupid, who you think is talking too loud because you don't know how to use the volume knob on your computer? Why are you sitting? Why? And I'm sitting there going, how the hell does this even happen? Because you know what I used to do, and I still do when I don't like something? I change
You turn it off?
Yeah.
Yeah, I turn it off. I change the channel. And I'm like, what?
Oh, by the way, Ryan in the chat wants to know, Joe, if you have the stats for violent crime for midgets.
No, but I'm gonna look for them now. Now I'm gonna try to find them. and, and I'm. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I mean, look, I'll tell you right now. This is my channel, and I invited you guys to talk with me, and all of you guys are nice people, and no one has said to me, "Why are we talking about this still?" Because my response would be, "Because it's my fucking channel, asshole."
Yeah.
And it's like, well, if you don't like what the channel covers, why are you watching it?
Yeah.
I like it when people ask me, what's wrong with you? I just look at them and go, lots of things. Where do you want me to start?
Oh yeah, I have a list. I have a list. It's long. It's long. It's not the only long thing that exists, but it's a long list. I gotta
Sit
say,
down, get comfy. It's gonna be a
it's gonna be
while.
a while. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's. Have you guys seen this thread? You've got to see it. It's amazing. It's amazing. This guy says, maybe I'll come back when you stop being a beta. Yes, I'm calling you a cuck. Okay. And
God damn it! I wondered where Harvey went. Harvey.
I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, I'm so wounded. Some retard on the internet who I don't know called me a name. I'm not like the radical feminist dude. I'm not like you guys. No, it's funny. I think it's funny. I do. I think it's honestly funny. You know, and it's aha. And what one guy does say, Vern has done you a serious favor by having some fun at your expense. This is the most attention you've gotten in forever. Yeah, that's not right. I've gotten plenty of attention in my life.
Yeah, you have kids. Of course you're getting attention.
Yeah,
You don't want the attention.
I think
And yeah, a lot of times I'm like,
maybe
get the fuck
too
out of here.
much. Yeah, maybe too much attention.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
But-
That whole thing, like, oh, you're just an attention whore. It's like, no, I'm criticizing you. I assume I'm trying to catch up.
Yeah. And it's like I'm sitting here and I'm going through this. I invite you to go ahead and pull up this thread. Let me see if I can put it in the group chat so that you can see what the hell I'm actually talking about. Because let me see, control room. Oh, here we go. There. And I find it both fascinating and amusing. I do. I really honestly do. But not for the same reason that some of these guys do.
Dude, 922 downvotes. God,
Yeah.
you're beating out Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what's hilarious?
What?
There's still a metric for most voted. So no matter what votes you get, it's actually a net gain. It means your video is getting attention.
Yeah. I gotta say,
I love that.
This one cat who has had a hard on for me for, I don't know, like 20 something replies, I think. He says, step 1, provoke retard. And I'm like, I did that. Step 2, diss retard after he takes the bait. I did that too. Step 3, realize retard is too stupid to understand the diss. Yes, check. Step 4, eat popcorn as retard tries to act intelligent, pretending to be on top of things. Got that. Step 5, laugh all the way to the bank because it was too easy. That part I'm working on. But I'm working on it.
Yeah, until you get to like TJ tier or PewDiePie tier, I mean, that doesn't apply.
Like, who do I got?
Oh, you probably got a whole 10 cents from.
Yeah, no, I don't even know, and I doubt it even gets to $1. But who do I got to piss off to get that? Because I'm happy to just piss motherfuckers off.
And this is on your yelling at Vern video.
Vernaculars video, yeah.
Yeah.
And I get it. They're stupid. They live in an echo
I
chamber.
can't even remember. Oh, it's an echo chamber, definitely.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I don't mind. I mean, like I told these guys, I think you were gone. If you tell me that you have an ad blocker, well, then I'm blocking you. You want to block the ads? Okay, then I'll block you. That way you're off my time, you're off the comment thread, and you're not taking up too much time. You're not taking up space.
Yeah.
And other than that, I'm like, I'm okay with it. It's funny. It's funny, and I like it. I think it's awesome. It's so seductive,
Yeah,
right?
if you can get, hey, at the end of the day,
No, well, yeah, but
then it ain't worth it.
yeah, you know,
If
yeah,
you
no,
can't have fun, if you can't have fun with it, like all these guys taking themselves super serial, it's like, man, give me a break.
yeah.
Just another. You're just another asshole with an opinion on the internet. That doesn't.
Yeah, I don't understand how people get that. How you get to the point where you think that because you have an internet connection and a computer with a camera on it, that you should be allowed to say shit. That doesn't follow one thing from.
Oh, you're allowed to say shit. Nobody's obligated to take this.
Well, that's the thing, right? But these guys
Yeah.
are like all over this because I haven't visited any video. When I think I went. I think I saw one video by this guy, and in all this time, and I got no fucking subscribers, 100 subscribers, and almost 600 comments on a 4-month-old video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the guys right now, the YouTubers.
Who's winning here?
Yeah, it's like the YouTubers now over the Google ads.
Oh,
And
yes.
they're like, oh my God, they're censoring my free speech. Oh my God, and I'm sitting there going, this has basically been in the rules the whole time. You're still free to say whatever the fuck you want. The private entities, your free market shit that you like to scream about all the time, decided, hey, this is what we want, and this business acquiesced to it. I don't even monetize my videos, but I decided to run an experiment. I went through, monetized all of them, and some random ones weren't monetizable. And so I went, okay, here they are, let's see if we can figure it out, and I demonetized my videos again. It was like, a couple of them made absolutely no sense, and I checked like tags and titles and stuff. Others made sense, like the one I was talking about, the shooting, the Umpqua College shooting. So it was like, okay, it's just a bot. Get over yourselves. You're still making money, like $3,000-$4,000 on Patreon. Shut the fuck up.
Well, what's funny is that Chris took one of her videos. Videos. I don't know if you guys remember this one. The one about the paint.
Yeah.
Yellow paint. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yellow. That got demonetized, I think. I'm fairly sure. And so she took it down and re-uploaded it and changed the metadata, right? She changed the title and the keywording or whatever, and now it's monetized.
Yeah. So you just got to do a little adjustment, but you're screaming about your free speech. It's like, give me a break.
Yeah.
It's their medium.
Yeah, like they own it or some shit.
Yeah,
and like,
and as the content provider, you're using someone else's infrastructure, someone else who takes care of all the business shit, which is really that's a lot. I'll include that in on infrastructure. You're getting paid about it because they're going, look, our advertisers are crawling up we gotta like put on a show. Which is what this is.
Pretty much.
So,
Yes.
I love the people who say, it's all the SJW's fault. It's the SJW plot. It's like, no, it isn't.
No,
It really amazes me how much, because a lot of these guys are libertarian, pro-business, pro-capitalism, how little they understand about business and how it operates.
Yes.
It's
I have noticed this as well. Because you hear them complain about big government, and I'm like, okay, so you want the government to make a new department to protect YouTube and Twitter from the incursions of the evil feminists. That's a lot of incursions.
Yeah, the public utilities argument also coming from the libertarians. I'm like, really? You're going to do that? And
yes.
I compare it to like the New York Times or a broadcaster. So it would be like if you said to, no, the government's going to make it so you have to print my column or my letter. It's like, no, they don't. They're a private entity and they have an editorial board and they'll decide what they print.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of these motherfuckers need to get a fucking real job.
Yeah, that too. Or do the infrastructure yourself. Do the hustling yourself with your own blog spot. Like a certain website. What's that called? Something
problematic people.
There.
Oh my god, is that a website? is that a thing? I'm sitting in.
No, there were bloggers before. And as much as you might hate the guy, look at Matt Drudge. He did that shit all himself with a crappy, poopy, no overhead website. That was basically a gateway. And he made tons of money because he did it himself.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here because a lot of these guys are on, a lot of them are the Ubermensch kind of dudes, right? A lot of race realists.
I'd say more along the lines of Untermensch, but sure.
Yeah, but they think of themselves. They think of themselves as, and what's funny is that hackers don't, and I'm not a hacker, right? Obviously, but they're like the hackers look down on a lot of these guys because a lot of these guys are called script kiddies. Oh yeah, and they talk about stuff. Ooh, somebody put a script up here, and somebody put like you don't know what the fuck you're doing either. You're an idiot that copy-pasted a line of code from a professional person who writes code, and you copy-pasted it onto the fucking server somewhere.
That you got off some Chan board somewhere.
So so you're a retard, but you think you're awesome, which I don't understand because if you were that fucking awesome, why aren't you demolishing YouTube and Twitter and Tumblr with your
great free marketeer, stand on my own, raise myself up by my own bootstraps ideology?
Yeah, and you're busy complaining the feminists are fucking you over. From where I'm standing, the feminists are whooping your ass. They're whooping your ass.
Well, they've had a lot of experience.
Well, yes, that's just it, right?
We don't even have to work at it. We just stand back and watch these days. It's like, we don't do anything.
That's all you have to do. I'm standing back here and I'm watching.
Like at first, SJWs overreached, in the beginning. Didn't just piss people off, but now the SJWs are doing the same thing, and I'm all like, look, man, just like I warned what was going to happen with SJWs, it's happening to you now. You've overreached. Tired of your shit. Because you're becoming pushy. Ideology. And that's what people didn't like when it was coming from the other side, but now you're doing it. And it's fun to watch. It is fun to watch.
Yeah, I gotta say, I told these guys the two videos that I think did you miss all the statistics part?
Yeah, I did. I was like rebooting it. Am I coming in better now? Is there any improvement?
Yeah, it's
my shit was all clogged up. Okay, go. Yeah, the statistics.
So we were talking about the statistics on the arrest rates of people.
Right.
Whatever, and how wild they are. If you look at all the other ones besides like the non-negligent manslaughter rates and shit, like the rape and all the rest of larceny and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking I would do a video on that, because facts ain't racist, yo. Or the video on David Rubin's inability to understand the alt-right. And
the smartest cat. He's got no knowledge of history. Like, remember when I was explaining about the American Renaissance and how all this shit goes on? I have a sense of history there.
And so
not that I'm the only one, but
and I'm also open to suggestions as to who I can piss off next.
Okay, here you go. Here, let me pitch this. Start talking about who commits most of the white collar crime and which actually causes more harm to society. Bernie Madoff or some gangster shooting somebody over a drug dispute. How about them apples?
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
a
actually
lot
writing
of
this down.
there. Yeah, there's okay. Look at that one. Look at the body count for the murder rates of black on black crime. People committed suicide because of Bernie Madoff's bullshit or Enron. People
Yeah.
killed themselves. Roy, people were thrown into poverty. Tell me what
Yeah.
does more harm to society: black on black crime or white collar crime? Suck on them apples. And also the fact that they're cherry picking.
Oh well, yeah. Well, that's
Because
Yes.
violent crime has been dropping steadily among all demographics in all situations since the 90s,
yeah, yeah. It
the
happened.
mid 90s. So you're actually saying, oh, well, they're at the top of the class when it comes to murder rate, but let's look at that murder rate over time. Explain that. Explain to me why this is such a crisis and why we should pay attention more to black on black crime than badge on black crime.
I'm pretty sure as soon as
Concerns me more because one party is somebody who's supposed to uphold the law.
Yeah, yeah. There is that. Yeah, there is that issue.
Yeah,
goes
But
on.
badge
yeah,
on black crime is
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure as soon as you're going to do that, then you will most likely get an answer. Oh, it doesn't matter anymore. It's not important. I had that a while back when I researched something and showed like, well, the numbers have been dropping, and this is used as an argument. Oh no, it's not the most important argument. Suddenly that became. I heard that as an argument. It's like, no, it is used as an argument. I actually debunked that argument, and then suddenly, no, it's not important anymore. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
something like that will happen. I'm not going to
like
into
no
much
the
details. That's
dismissal.
what.
Oh well, who cares then? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Or like this.
because you're really dealing. So I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, you're fine. I was somewhat derailing because Joe was talking about the stupid stuff. Demotivator Opinion put up a video asking some questions, and one was on abortion. And I had written up a long thing about my views on it after the first bit, which was this guy needs to go fuck himself. But I did a whole thing explaining about the difference between abortion and adoption, and this person wrote on there, I think the whole notion around adoption is moot point. We need to figure out if these babies are human being or not, and if they have the right to exist. What do
Oy
you
vey.
propose? What do you propose? We kill all unwanted babies? And I reading it out loud, I see how bad he wrote, and I'm guessing English isn't his first language. But I basically went, okay, number one, what would a person be pregnant with aside from a human? Number
Right.
two, go read the 14th motherfucking amendment
Thank
and
you.
then shut up. And number three, please let that last sentence be sarcasm because otherwise you need to be sterilized.
you're all on about sterilizing motherfuckers, aren't you?
Yeah, you're really on the eugenics kick, man.
I just don't normally talk
I
about
get
it. I've had this view since like I was 17.
Yeah.
Now, I have this one thing that I
But
found.
did you get that, Joe?
This one thing that I
I-
found phenomenally interesting. Am I cutting out?
No.
No, you're fine.
Okay. Right. I've been actually I didn't just read one book. I've been studying cults for a long time. But there's this thing about the old cults, right? Back in the 70s, right, where when you had the people with money like paying to kidnap their kids and shit from the cult, that
Oh,
like, you know,
deprogramming.
deprogramming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they would lock you up for weeks and shit, basically kidnapping you, right? It's still against the
Yeah.
law. And so, but they had this thing where, and this has been a salient point throughout the history of cults, right? Where married couple joins a cult, and you, like, the leader of the cult would try to get in with the woman if they're a man or vice versa, right? And try to come between the married couple, right? In different ways, right? But always for the same reason, right? Because if you break down the bonds of loyalty between a couple, then you get to keep them both, right? Or at least, it works easier to keep them both if you can do that, right? And I could never find a corollary until, like, I looked at Chris's Twitter and a comment. Well, I looked at the Twitter after, but there's a comment here about a fan or a former fan, I don't know, of Chris Torolithane. I guess that's how you read that. I'm not quite sure. And they don't understand how my wife could, quote, would ever have been attracted to a person who exhibits this type of behavior.
Oh, God.
And then it hit me when I read it. I was like, oh shit, another fucking aspect of cult behavior that you people can't get. You just can't help yourselves. And I thought, wow, this is really kind of cool, right? It's not exactly the same, right? Because this person is not a leader of a cult. That's Carl,
Right.
and Little Vern. But you sort of see the same dynamic, right? I mean, am I making too big?
You're seeing the same dynamic, but I'll just dissent here a little bit. I'm very careful with throwing around the word cult or using descriptions of cult behavior to label a group, though.
Well, so am I. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah. Excuse me. You can kind of like say, oh, well, this is the same thing that happens in this situation. So the behavior itself is what you're talking about.
Right, yeah.
Instead of just, well, you're the same as Jonestown and all that, because you had Carl doing the same thing.
Well, no. Yeah, no.
I was very derisive. I think it was his video. It was only like a couple weeks ago.
Of the cult video that he did, yeah. A couple weeks ago.
So he's kind of doing the same. I'm very leery.
Oh no, so am I.
Yeah. So I'm very careful. I would say cult-like instead of you are in a cult. You're in a cult-like situation. That dynamic.
Yeah, it's like a lot of things. I mean, the times they are a changing.
Well, you can actually, I mean, because I could take a description of cult behavior, like those 10 signs of a cult.
Yeah.
Could apply it to sports fans and say, sports fans are in a cult, but it's ridiculous.
It dilutes the meaning of the word too much.
Yes.
Yeah, I would describe more as fanboyism. If you look at fans from Justin Bieber, for example, just to get off the whole Sargon train here, the fans will go like, well, he's the best musician ever ever existed. And you go like, yeah, I'm sorry, but his music is simple. It's this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Yeah. Go talk to anyone who has any dealing in music or makes music and is a proper musician. And that's my personal view. Like they will tell you with details, and with techniques like, no, he's not. But the fanboy won't see that. It is blind faith. It is. This is the best, and nothing else. They won't see any other point of view anymore.
In that situation, it's a case of the parable of the emperor with no clothes.
Yep.
Now, what?
They want to see Justin Bieber as this musical genius.
Yeah.
When he's very derivative and very vanilla.
Yeah.
They want to see it. And you're the little boy coming along pointing, well, no, he's naked, actually. No. He's wearing this beautiful Yeah.
Yep.
It's kind of that effect,
Yeah.
Your heroes are flawless. Of them is ultimate evil, and no difference in between. Very black and white.
Now,
Yes.
what I will say though is this. What I will say is this, right? Because things are becoming right. We have seen, all of us are here. I think have seen the sort of rise of, and it's. I mean, in recent times, right? It's happened in history before, but uh, sort of the rise of the secular religion, right? We've seen at least a few of them
Sure.
come up, right? And so in the same way, and again, I don't like the argument. I just have to consider it. In the same way that we have come to accept the notion that religion doesn't always have a deity at the head of it, right? Where it's sort of become more secular, and you have these things that people believe in but can't prove, like female nature and patriarchy, and that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Where there's more belief than evidence, right? Not that they're not
Yes.
real, just that there's more belief than evidence, right? um you have to kind of wonder, I think, if it's not time then to say, all right, well, look, if there are secular religions, and we see the rise of them on the internet so clearly, I think we have to also wonder if we're not seeing the sort of progression of the idea of cult to include this new kind of thing that we see, because I think it's I mean, I get that it's like, like the fanboys and stuff that are doing it, but
Group dynamics and how
well, yeah,
Hmm.
well, that's why I'm saying this, because it's not just people that come and shit all over your comment section or something, right? It's also people that are willing to pick up the phone and call in to the police and say, listen, so and so has a kidnap victim in his house.
swatting. Yeah.
Yes.
They're capable.
That they're willing. They've gone to the point where, and this kind of gets into that dichotomous thinking. So is flawless, and not only that, but be defended.
Yeah,
His enemies are the darkest of the dark. The cause is more important because there's elements of ideology in here, what that hero stands for and whatnot. Is
And
more important than moral obligations or having a moral compass. In other words, when they do it, evil. When I do it, I'm doing it in the defense of the good. So
well,
it's okay.
it's the AIU thing, right? It's
Yeah.
all of these things, and that's why I bring this up, right? Because there's so many things, there's so much overlap. What are we supposed to do with it all?
Yeah.
Maybe,
Well, that's kind of why I made the distinction between a cult and cult like.
yeah. Mary
So,
Kay, are
so
you gonna say something?
those, yeah.
Sorry.
I somewhat spaced what it was, so it's okay.
Okay. Okay.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah. I'm getting old. That happens to me too.
What's up, dear? What comes after 69? Gargling. Mouthwash.
But that's kind of
Always mouthwash.
what we're talking about. And actually, the secular things happened before.
Yeah,
Look
yeah.
at, you look at the Soviet Union under Stalin, and of course
Yeah.
the Nazis got it.
The answer is always mouthwash.
Yes, Harvey.
I'm sorry,
And-
what? Who was that?
Never mind.
Harvey burst in and said, "What comes after 69? Mouthwash."
The answer is always mouthwash. Yes. So Stalin.
Mm-hmm. Which you have your cult of personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have those people so devoted to, with Stalin as the figurehead, things that bust down doors at 3 a.m. and take away dissidents and beat people up and kill them.
So then, yeah.
All justified. So that's kind of the similar thing with the guy who picks up the phone and is willing to swat somebody because they got their dogs.
And so what we're talking about with the big YouTubers anyway, not with Vern, but the big YouTubers like Carl and TJ and whatever, we are talking about cults. We are talking. It's a cult. It's a personality cult, I guess, right? As opposed to like a traditional religious cult. But my God, if it isn't fun to piss them off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so easy. That's just a big red shiny button, and you're asking me not to push it.
I totally get. I understood it before, in the abstract, right? You know what draws people like Milo to be the attention whores they are. But oh my God, I'm sorry, it's fun. It's fun to watch kids shit all over themselves, trying to convince themselves that they're like grown-ups, or trying to convince themselves that, you know, the thumbs up is like, you know, the arbiter of what's correct and what's incorrect, and you know.
I know. Yeah.
Like, I'm talking about you because you're funny, dude. I'm talking about you like I tell the story of the time that I stepped in shit the other day, you know. Not because you're important. You're not important. And it's, I mean, I'm telling you, it's ridiculous fun. I just said it.
Subs.
Huh?
You're just thirsty for views and sub, therefore you're
that's what it is. Yeah. That's what it is. No. I wish.
Sorry,
I wish.
At the end of the day, and it is with me, is despite that I like having the conversation. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I actually, there were a couple of conversations that I had, actual conversations, right on this comment thread, which weren't that bad. But oh my God, it is fun. I gotta say, and so I think we're gonna do this. Yeah. Oh,
the salt mines is for who's been which cult has been trolled today? Who's the cult member of the week?
Yeah, well, I think what I'm gonna do is, because I'm new, you know, I'm not a professional YouTuber, and I don't really want to be. I just think this is wildly fun. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if somewhere between Sunday and Monday or Tuesday, I'll put out a video on something, and then I just sit back until Saturday, and we can talk about the comments in the comment section.
I knew
I
knew you were a troll at heart, Joe. Embrace it. Embrace it. Don't deny it.
Embrace the dark side, my young Padawan.
Yes.
And yeah, I gotta say,
we have cookies and
yes,
and a good dental plan. Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
Ryan in the chat says, just make a video and in it have it say Sargon is wrong and then have it fade to black and bring up the link.
That's all you need.
I mean, they can't help themselves. I don't think they can. There's one dude that I just kept like 1 word or 2 word responses, and he was on for like a week.
Yeah.
He was on for like a week.
Get him rolling.
Dude, why are you still responding, dude?
Yeah, they have to read narrative. They have to read from their hymnal.
Well,
to maybe either make the sinner go away, or maybe the sinner.
It was like the one, because I went back and I read, because most of the time I don't pay attention to the rest of the dialogue down there. Like, if I watch a video, I'll make a comment and be done with it. And if I get responses on the comment, sure, I'll go and respond, or I'll look at the responses. And I made the comment, and then it was like, what was it, Joe? 2 months later, a guy popped on and started going crazy, so I said, oh, Uncle Touchy got to you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this guy like blew a vein. And it was like, dude, I made that comment. I had forgotten it existed.
Oh, I love my favorite's the accidental troll. Where you You just accidentally troll somebody. You're not even trying.
Yeah, I wasn't trying.
That's the story of my life. That is the story of my life. I don't even try.
Are you an accidental trollist?
Yes, I'm an accidental trollist.
The thing of it was,
Hail
the thing
Satan.
of it was, Hail Satan. The thing of it was that I just used Vernaculus's video to point out the fact that Carl was doing these pseudo-intellectual things. So it wasn't even about this dude. But then I got some comments on the other video, and I was like, oh well, and then he tweeted to me, who's invoking my name, or something like that, and I'm like, oh wait, whoa, nigga, hold on.
Who invoketh the name of Vernaculus?
Yeah, I'm like, dude,
Thunder rolling in the background.
Like, I don't think you're not old enough to say words with that many syllables in them. I'm sorry.
Your ageism will be the death of you, Joe.
Yes, my age.
You are so ageist, Joe.
My age will be the death of me. My age will be the death of me. Because from what I can tell, if I got
Nah, you're too mean and wicked to die. Hail Satan.
Yeah.
Hail Satan.
Immortality.
If it's old age, if it's a toss-up between old age and one of these motherfuckers growing a pair of balls, I'm going with old age. Because, oh my God, these people are so thin-skinned, and they're busy talking about, manhood, and I'm like, I wasn't talking about manhood. I call him Justin Little because I think he's a little kid, and that's his last name. I wasn't making a reference to his dick at all. So talking about that. Like,
what's on your mind, kid?
Yeah, I'm
like, Sentai's dick.
And I'm like, yeah, he's a little kid to me. If you get nothing else from the rant that I did, it's that I think he's a little kid.
Yeah.
And you're talking about penis.
Hey, now that's hating on little culture there, Joe. You're hating on the kink culture there.
I'm hating.
Oh God.
I thought I was hating on the little PU. Who am I hating on now?
Little is weird.
Let's not go there. Let's say that.
Oh, I'm starting a whole series on kink culture. Trust me, I'm going there.
I gotta say, that's just an unfortunate name. That's just an unfortunate name.
Well, I personally think that particular aspect of kink culture is weird.
How dare you?
You triggered me, yeah. You triggered. Yes.
Triggered.
Yeah. But Joe, you were talking about something, and a meme popped up in my head that would be perfect as a thumbprint or thumbnail. Let me share it. I will clean it up as soon as my main PC is working again. I can finally Photoshop again.
All right, share.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it is actually being shown properly.
If I stepped in shit.
Now, I make the sole of the shoe. I can Photoshop it. You can do it yourself as well. I know that. It's very simple. It's just one color, and you can put anything in there.
Yeah, I get that. That's awesome. That's exactly right. It's like, dude, like, I'm actually for free speech, right? I do think that you're entitled to your opinion. You are.
Yeah.
I just don't care if you're 15 or 16 or 20 or 22, maybe 23, or if you're a really stupid 40. Give your opinion.
I was about to say, I see a lot of Arrested Development, man.
Yeah, I'm fine with listening to your opinion. Write it down on a piece of paper and give it to the nearest grown-up, and they can read it to me. That's how I work, right? That's what I do with my kids, essentially. I'm like, wait, do you, what? Okay, say that again. Slowly. Yeah, no, go. Can I use my, no, you can't. If you have an opinion, tell an adult, a responsible adult, and they can bring it to me.
Well, kicks off like everybody in my household if we throw in the word responsible.
I was about to say, man, I'm out.
Well, no, that's not true. That's not true.
I'm a pro at avoiding responsibility.
Well, yes, but some people are still responsible.
Yeah.
I'm playing a Nintendo DS right now. I am not responsible. I should be out painting stuff. That's why Harvey came in. Are you done yet? No.
No.
I am on the internet, so I can never be done. The internet doesn't go away when I go to sleep.
Don't worry, you can always catch the next bus of stupid. It'll be here when you get back.
I don't want to catch the next bus of stupid.
I'm gonna put out a fucking sign. I'm gonna put out a fucking sign because this was too much fun. It was, and it was totally unintentional. You know, like not the trolley video, not the 20-minute one. That was on purpose because I wanted to demonstrate how dumb some of these people actually are. And so, and ironically, I agree with Vernaculus. I agree. If you can't,
issue, how?
huh?
This.
If he said in his video that if you cannot divorce what you consider to be naughty language from what the person is actually saying, then you shouldn't be having this conversation. Because it's not like the Greek agora was this laid back, they're eating grapes and going, I believe that we should use the Spartans to attack the... No! Motherfuckers was yelling at each other.
Oh, yeah.
That was common. That was what they did.
Or like they think or my favorite is that they think the founding fathers were all these stentorian people standing around in their powdered wigs and patiently waiting for the next person to finish and all this high-minded shit. No.
Yeah.
Them motherfuckers, they wanted it. Some of them wanted to kill each other.
Fuck, man.
And they engaged in slander. Like a lot of them had, they had their own publications and their own newspapers and shit, and they'd be talking shit about each other all day long.
And Franklin fucks the slaves, and
Yeah. Well, no, it was
Jefferson fucks the slaves.
Jefferson, yes.
They even wrote somebody even when he was running for president, somebody wrote a refrain of Yankee Doodle about Jefferson, Sally Hemings. That's the kind of shit that was going on all over the place. So this idea that these high-minded intellectuals were sitting in their little, there were all these delicate flowers sitting in their hothouse bullshit.
Now, niggas was stabbing each other and yelling at each other
vicious
all the time. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, people complain about the conduct of political campaigns now. Yeah. You don't know. You look at all the old billings and postings, like, Jackson or Jefferson or whatnot. It was nasty shit that we would call slander today. Slander and libel. Be nasty.
And if you can't take, and what's ironic is that so many of these guys, so many of these little kids think of themselves as the epitome of, what manliness is. And I'm like, wait a minute, nigga, you can't yell?
You mean like Orini?
Like
yeah,
Orini,
there's a manly man. I want to be like him someday.
Yeah, when I grow up, I want,
At least when I was back when I drank, at least then I would actually drink whatever I was drinking instead of just take it to my lips and set it down again.
Oh, wait. Are you talking about that skinny kid, Chris Herrera?
No, I was talking about Arini who sits there and he never goes through that glass of scotch in his 30-minute video.
Glass of scotch.
And it's like, dude, why do you put so much ice in there?
I know. And
Yeah,
why
I know,
aren't you
it's like-
drinking? Why aren't you a real man and drinking it neat?
He's like raping whatever it is he's drinking,
Yeah.
but it can't be any better than Wild Turkey. Because if you've seen the dip that his apartment took, like he seems to have moved out of the apartment he was in.
Oh,
I don't watch
yeah,
except for when people are making fun of him.
Yeah, no, I only saw because somebody was making fun of him.
Oh, I remember when he was doing race realist shit. Went back during his Anton LaVey period.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when he was wearing the he looked like a anemic biker with the shaved head.
Oh, like when he did that video inside his shower stall about
No,
the decadent slut video, I think it was.
Irini's been around. This was 4 years ago.
Yeah,
Before
like something like that. He made a video. He was sitting in his bathtub. He was sitting in his bathtub.
I don't remember that one, but yeah.
I think it was the decadent sluts video. I think.
Well, that's mildly
Oh,
traumatizing.
Jesus Christ! I forgot about that one. That was no. This is a little.
No, wait,
bit
that
I'm
wasn't the
talking about.
decadent sluts video. The decadent sluts video, he was sitting down.
Yeah, this is when he was kind of transitioning from hipster LaVey to whatever it is he is now, alt-right.
Whatever the fuck he is now.
Whatever the fuck it is now. Oh, before he really entered the manosphere.
Yeah.
He wasn't really into. He wasn't
But
about
yeah.
MRAs or any of that shit. It was like I said, he was trying to be the Levan.
I want to mention these two things. I want to mention these before I forget, right? Chris Reron did a video. He's bitching about the YouTube terms of service, which is bullshit, but whatever.
I skipped it. I'm like, yawn. Fuck
And
off.
he actually, dude, like, has not entered puberty yet, apparently. And so he's showing off his nipples and shit because he wanted to make a video, right, that violated the terms of service, right?
Oh, what an edgelord.
Yeah. So he flashed his nips,
Ooh.
and they were, oh my God, the dude he hasn't entered puberty yet, and there was a video of that. Who's that fat fuck? That
Which one?
Yeah, I'm like, narrow it down, Joe.
The roly-poly shitbag who's always on Arini's ass.
Owens?
No, not Jordan Owens.
Oh, Jordan isn't with him anymore.
Yeah, no,
I
Jordan.
actually like Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan's not a bad guy. I like that. Yeah. He's a libertarian, which I think is kind of, but he's not a
I
bad
know
guy.
a lot of libertarians. I actually get along with libertarian as a liberal.
Yeah.
I actually find myself getting along with libertarians more than I do hard leftists.
And I think that he does a little bit too much of apologizing for Ayn Rand. But again,
he's an Ayn Rand fanboy. That's not forgiven.
I think he's not a bad guy though.
No.
And I think his opinions, if they are, poorly formed or whatever, is not really the case always. So he's not a stupid guy either. But no, not him. Fuck. Matt Forney, that's it.
Oh, I'm not really that familiar with Matt Forney.
This dude
I don't know who he is, but I don't really know too much.
He is a hardcore alt-right dude.
Yeah, that I know.
He's like control the niggers or whatever, and in reference to guns, I think it was. It's like they got to be controlled, or he's really bad, right? And so he went to cover because he's a journalist. He went to cover a rally.
Shit. Oh God, not the citizen journalist shit.
I think so. I'm pretty sure that's where he's going with it. I don't know.
The one where he wet his pants, pretty much.
Yeah, the dude just.
Oh, what did he do? Go to a BLM protest?
It was. I
don't watch this guy. So.
Kevin put up a video of what happened. It's hilarious.
I did see that. So yeah, courtesy of Kevin. That's okay. 2 and 2. All right, got it. Gotcha.
Yeah. And so I don't know if I should, I don't know. Those are two other options that I've been mulling over for the coming week.
Poking that guy.
Huh?
Poking that
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
If he,
Him or
who the,
Chris Ray Run, I guess. I don't know, because he made a video that he wants it to violate the terms of service. And I gotta be honest. Right? I felt so bad like flagging that video.
cringy.
I no, because he wants to in the
Oh, we
video.
wanted it flagged. Okay.
Yeah, in the video, he's looking at the terms of service and he's trying to do everything in them, right?
Yeah.
He's trying to violate all of the terms of service. And I just sat there and I wanted to flag that fucker so bad.
Does he not understand that if you show nipple, it's only the female nipple that's against the terms of service?
I think he suffers from the same thing that little Vern suffers.
Stupidity?
Well,
suffering from the never knowing the touch of a woman.
the other thing. Okay, the other thing he suffers from.
Oh, okay.
The inability.
It's like, let's just specify, and we're going down the list, going,
That's
okay.
Right.
I agree with that at some point. Sorry.
He suffers from the ignorance of youth.
Mm-hmm.
And not every young person suffers this, mind you.
Depends on life experience. Some people get ahead of the curve. Yeah.
And, but he does, right? He seems to think that he's right because his principle is somehow absolutely right. Even though he like Chris went.
That's the certitude of youth that you've got it all figured out.
You got it all figured out.
That's going to be a letdown later on in life.
Oh yeah, son.
Well, how do you think?
Lifetime of disappointment.
How do you think these kids got here? These kids got here because mommy and daddy they came home one day crying because, the big kid fucked them up. And they came home and said, Mommy, they fucked me up. And mommy said, don't you worry. You're smart. You go to your computer camp, and when you grow up, all those mean people will want you. And it turns out that doesn't work like that.
Nope.
I thought it was they came home crying, going, Mommy, that person was mean. And the wife looks over and goes, I told you we should have had an abortion.
But no, how could I mine the lulls? How can I mine all this salt?
Yeah. Oh, it's just there for the taking. It's there for the taking.
I'm sorry, but it's too much fucking fun. I'm sorry. I'm gonna pick on the retarded kids. I'm sorry. If mommy and daddy had an abortion for, who could you imagine a world without Davis Arini? I can't.
I can't either. Because that's
I can't imagine a world without Davis.
That's a lulz cow just asking to be milked.
Like I love Davis Arini.
Yeah. I loved him all the way back because he years ago, me and some former friends were going at it with the race realists.
Mm-hmm.
There's some retards out there okay, I can't remember their names. They were the major players, and then Arini stuck his snot locker into it. And that's what he does. He doesn't really, because back then it was the race realism, then it was the manosphere and the MRA shit, and now it's sticking he's always going to go where he thinks the hot spot is. Actually doesn't have. He's one of those guys, remember how I said, I don't think AIU's a racist, he's just a race baiter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Masturbator.
that's Arini. He's just looking for attention. Validation.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's vacillated so wildly from what I guess is possibly in some ways alt-right to alt-left and back.
Yeah,
that is just, you know,
it's
just
hilarious. It's hilarious to watch because he's like a windsock.
yeah.
Blowing, and he can't figure it out because the guy's got no social skills whatsoever. He can't read situations worth a fuck, and it's fun to watch. Oh, should I say this or should I say that? And sometimes he does it in the same sentence.
Yeah, yeah, he does.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's amazing.
Could you?
Just trying to hit all the buzzwords so he can
I'm
get, you know, because he wants to be leader of the pack. He's the guy chasing the parade, wanting to get in front.
Well, that's why I think that's why they don't. There's been a chilling between Matt Forney and Arini. Now Arini's all about the, you know, the
Got another
manly,
2+2.
man.
He's that fat guy that kind of like they kind of like orbit each other.
Yeah.
Gravitational
Binary.
pull's a bitch.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're like a binary star system of stupid.
But but that dude is really like you should never say Ubermensch and Matt Forney in the same sentence.
Jesus
Ever.
Christ, I know. That's the
Those
thing too. That's like in the alt right or like the neo-Nazi circles. You look at it, this is the Ubermensch.
Yeah, if that's what you're bringing, if that's what you're bringing, the
If
Mexicans.
this is the
are gonna
best of the
say, "Oh,
best
no."
that there are. If this is the best of the best our species can put forward and its potential, we're fucked.
I think
My
I think the
Führer-
best. I'm sorry, Nuka.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What was it? It was Christopher Titus. He went, "Mein Führer, you said that we were the master race, but this guy's the Black Flash."
The Black Flash.
Talking about Jesse Owens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Olympic Games 1936, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the same thing I wanted to say as well. Remember the Olympic Games 1936.
And it's and this guy, you know, because in the video Chris mentioned it to me and I had to look at it. He sort of has this gait, right, where he looks like sort of like Quasimodo-ish.
Sanctuary.
Shuffles away from them. He shuffles away, and I'm 42 and I smoke, and I don't get that out of breath.
No. I have arthritis in my spine and my hip, and I walk 3 miles every other day.
And yeah, and this dude is like, yo, dude, like really, you're not the Ubermensch.
No.
If maybe you were when you were like 17 or something, maybe back then. I don't know. I don't know you from back then.
My mommy said I'm the Ubermensch.
But this is where these. This is where
Princess, and I'm special.
Yeah, well, this is where these kids come from. This is the world they come from, right? They think that, look, I'm sorry, right?
You kind of faded out there.
You cut out.
We lost Joe for a moment.
Oh, am I back? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
You're good.
I
You're
don't
good.
care. I don't care what YouTube puts in its terms of service, right? If you're supposed to be a content creator, right, you go where the money is. You create the content that makes the money. You don't bitch about the rules under which YouTube allows you to operate. And if it's that bad, get a fucking real job. But these guys, a lot of them seem to think that they're like the,
Cut out.
you know, the next Paris Hilton. They're going to be famous for being famous, like Carl.
Yeah.
Yo, fat Cheeto eating ass and get a job. Oh my God, it's inconceivable. And that's what you get. This constant kind of sadness
Kind of
where you're always
cutting
being
in and out on you
disappointed.
there.
Was that me?
Yeah, Jay, you
It
keep
might have
cutting
been.
it
It
out.
might have been. Yeah.
Uh,
You're overloading the mic. It can't handle the Joe.
The mic can't handle that. Sorry. Hold on.
It can't
Well,
handle
that's
the
it.
weight.
So what I said was just that this is a constant disappointment in these people's lives to the point where they gotta fucking tell me that I'm really interested. Like, no, I'm not. No, really, sincerely, I don't care who you are or what your opinion is of me. just watch the video or shut up.
Oh no, well that's projection too.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
you're
all.
doing this just because of this. It's like that old saying. It's like if you want to know what your opponent's up to, listen to what they're accusing you of.
Yeah, and
In it for views and subs. Oh, you're just in it for views and subs. Thanks for telling me.
yeah,
You're basically telegraphing me what you're all about.
Telegraphing is fun.
and so yes, I am now going to pick a topic each week. I hope I have enough time because school started and I got to keep up with the kids' homework and everything so that they don't
When I
grow
run
up.
Yeah, when I run across the shit I run across, I'll just toss it your way with some
Awesome.
links, or maybe you should check this out.
Awesome. But hopefully it'll be one a week. Certainly we'll do the. You know what? It's probably going to be the case that we'll be able to mine some salt from the comment section of mining from of hard days of salt mining. Anyway.
They're on Twitter. It's all like, yeah, if you've got any piles of salt to mine, let us know.
Yeah, because I think that they can't help themselves. They can't. They can't. I can go my entire life, which I did until the internet was real, and even then, without the internet. But these kids can't. They can't go without it. They need to be listened to. They need to. Mommy and Daddy did not love you enough.
Well, that's the thing too. The great promise of the internet, which has failed, to unite everyone, and in some instances it has done that. But the unintended consequence is that it allows people to develop their own and maintain their own echo chambers.
Well, what is it? It's
I'm not clicking on that link because it might lead me to something that goes against what I think. So I'm going to go with this link instead that tells me everything I want to hear.
Yeah, no, there are people in the comment thread that say they have ad blocker, so I'm not gonna make any money. Ooh.
Yeah.
But watch the video anyway.
Right, I'll be right back. My wife's just sent me a text message. I think my little girl needs some extra attention.
Well, priorities, man. Priorities.
Yep.
Shit talking will always be here. Do the thing.
Oh, there you go. I'll be right back.
Yeah. And I'm sure that there will be people in the comments that you go, "You still salty?" Like, dude, you don't understand what
more projection and don't understand it. Well, these people think that these words to throw out are like talismans.
Yes, they're magical.
All I got to do is say this magical incantation, this series of words in the right order, and I pwned you. I win.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't think you understand this term winning. I mean, you're winning like you're winning like what's his face?
You're winning like Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, you're winning like
tiger blood. Because they all got tiger blood. That's right.
Yeah, they all
and
do.
Adonis DNA.
Oh God. And so we are going to do this, and I'm betting you there's going to be enough salt in the comment section.
There's always salt.
And get this through your fucking thick skulls, you retards. You're just funny to me.
Yeah.
I am not crying into my cornflakes because an 18-year-old that fucks an anime pillow at night thinks that I'm dumb. You haven't read enough. Remember, retard? You're from the TLDR generation.
Yep.
You're the motherfucker that thinks that you can get Nietzsche in Cliff Notes.
Oh, that is such my favorite because actually, and I'll be honest, I did that there. I was the teenager that read Nietzsche and just went for the meaty stuff first. So I know this lesson before I actually, read it in order and read commentaries. That's my favorite. And again, it's what am I looking for? Confirmation bias.
Yeah, the quote mining, the confirmation bias. Yeah, like
yes, that's me. Of course, I'm the Ubermensch. Which is a fucking joke. No, you're not.
Yeah,
you're not the Ubermensch. That's that's what it should say on the cover of Beyond Good and Evil.
Yeah.
Just right now, you are not the Ubermensch.
And
That should be the warning.
and if anything, what I will say that I care about is how abysmally horrid the people that are being brought up today are. I mean, I have to be on.
Actually, I'd
I
phrase it as not being brought up.
as not being brought up.
Yeah.
I got to be on my kids all the time. I have special like notebooks for them to make sure that they learn like the little ones, the multiplication tables, and
Yeah.
my eldest truth tables, and I give them shit to read, and I make them. I'm sorry, but I make them memorize some poetry, and I make them fucking read and read and read, and I got to be on them because in school they don't care. They fucking TLDR everything.
I used to
Yeah.
get in trouble for reading too much or answering questions too often. I would actually be told to put my hand down because my hand was always up.
Yeah,
And that caused me to just stop caring. And I can say that my grade point average went down the shitter because of
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
well, I have one of those traditional trajectories in school, right? I finished high school. I think an A minus, I think, but I got in so much trouble because I was cutting school all the time because I was fucking bored out of my gourd.
Yeah. That's what happened to me too. I was good. I had a high grade point average, but I was fucking one off. I was phoning it in.
Yeah,
Still
so was
getting
I.
good. Yeah.
So was I. I mean, I finished with like an A minus or whatever the hell it fucking was, and that's counting an F that I got in accounting 2 because they wouldn't take it off my program. I kept telling them, yeah, I don't want this class. I'm not going to be an accountant. I took accounting 1, right, and I was like, yeah, this ain't for me. I don't like it. But they made me go to accounting 2, right? I didn't have a choice. And so I got an F because I never showed up. I didn't show up once. And if I care about anything, the fact that the kids today, get off my lawn. The
Kids today. God, you are such
ain't
an
learning
old fart.
shit.
You're worse than I am. I swear.
Yeah, right. It's one of those things, right? Even like it's that old thing about having an old soul. Everybody kept telling me when I was a kid, so I figured, fuck it. I suppose I do, and now I have the shot up knees to prove it. Oh God,
Yeah.
knees are killing me. Oh, and so yeah. Otherwise, I'm just laughing and laughing at the fucking pathetic nature of the people that think of themselves as grown men who fuck anime pillows at night. And
Oh, you really had to go there, didn't you?
Well, wait. Do you have something against people who fuck anime pillows at night?
No, kid, no.
For the record, I don't have one. Just for the record.
Do you fuck it?
I don't have one.
Take your baby!
Yes.
Okay. No,
Hi,
I don't have
baby.
anything against anime or love dolls. I have nothing against that. But don't tell me that you are, when I say the word man, that does not mean you. It doesn't. If that's your thing all the way, right? I don't mean once in a while. Everybody jerks off once in a while. Even married men jerk off once in a while.
Yeah, it's not always Tuesday, so yeah, you
Well,
have
you know
to.
the old saying,
Yeah, and if it's not
99% of men masturbate and the other 1% are liars.
or lying about it, yeah. And but if this is your life, if you're Manospherian and you're Ubermensch and MGTOW and you're the awesomest gift to the planet and you're smarter than everybody on the internet and you're always right because Vern said you were right or Carl said you were right,
Yeah.
You're not the. When I say the word man, I really don't mean you. I mean niggas in the old mold, the old school, the moldy dudes. Those old,
The hiccups.
those old patriarchal fucks that fuck
Yeah.
their wives to have kids and fuck themselves over at work to make sure they ate. You know,
Yeah.
those mythical dudes that don't seem to exist anymore. If we ever did.
Going hardcore blue collar there, huh?
Well, sometimes blue collar, sometimes white collar.
Yeah.
But men who understood the notion of sacrifice and how important their kids are and how important it is to have some discipline and a decent job. And, you know, I understand the economy's fucked, but you're not the next Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
You're the next corner hooker. You know, that one. You know, the discount one.
Captain Patriarchy strikes.
That's right. Yes, and that is the. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, but
I will be right. I have to go stab Harvey in the butt. Be right back.
Oh, that sounds like it's gonna
Make
be.
sure it didn't happen.
Literally or figuratively.
That sounds alternatively like it's gonna be, if figurative, very painful. If real, possibly enjoyable. If you know, if you do this thing, which is fine, which is fine. What am I planning?
What?
In regards to homosexuality, what am I?
Healthy level of
I
homophobia.
have a healthy level of homophobia. Yes, a healthy level. And yes,
Or cisnormative shit, Lord. Confirmed.
yes, I'm like. Can you imagine me being a shitlord?
And it took me a
Like I
while
said,
to earn my stripes to get shit, Lord, too. It was really frustrating. It's like everybody else is getting it except me.
but I don't know that I want to be that though. I don't know what can I just be
I
a
have to
regular
check.
Joe?
I remember with the whole blue chat thing there for a while. It's like I had to keep checking the memo. It's like, are we shitlords this week or SJW pussies? I keep forgetting.
Yeah, it depends.
Yeah, it depends.
But I'm happy to be hated by these kids.
Kool-Aid are we not drinking this week?
Yes, who? Yeah, who are we not? Who are we not pandering to?
Yeah, that's usually the determinant factor. Or even, heaven forbid, make fun of.
Yeah, no, And so there we are. I am one of them old school motherfuckers, I suppose,
Yeah.
with this new school kind of bent, I guess. Because
It's a mixture of both.
it's a yeah, you gotta roll with the punches, which is another
Hey,
thing
look,
which is
you're
another
talking
thing.
about being a misanthrope. I'm the misanthrope here. I hate everybody. It's a real time saver.
Well, it does save time. Although I have to say that it's still enjoyable to poke at them.
Oh, fuck yeah. Are you kidding?
Because it's like a chihuahua. It's like teasing a chihuahua.
What are
You
you
know
like?
they're gonna bark and
What are
bark
you?
and bark and
What are
bark.
you, like this big version of Forrest Gump here now?
Yes, I'm like this big version of Forrest Gump.
Life is like a chihuahua.
But the laugh is like a chihuahua. But it's fun. Have you ever done this? You ever like tease a chihuahua and like when you take a step towards it, it takes a
Oh,
step back.
my auntie had one. That thing was terrible. Yes, and I used to love torturing it because it would torture me. It was a mutual thing.
It takes a step back and keeps barking.
Yeah,
I win! I win!
it is. Yeah, and that. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I get it. In that respect, it is.
It's fucking hilarious. It's a popular dog in Puerto Rico, so I see this all the time, right?
Yeah.
And then you take a step towards them, and they take a step back, and they keep barking.
Yeah. And I'm winning. Awesome. I'm winning.
Yeah, I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning. So yes, let's wrap this up because we've been on almost about 4 hours. Wow. We're gonna
Not
mine,
bad.
and I still got to work on the new logo because I'm changing the bowler hat on the dragon to a mining helmet.
Ah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm changing it to a mining helmet.
with the little lamp on it and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Cute, cute. Okay, I gotta say that's a dragon. I thought it was like a wolf, but
Well,
I get it now.
actually, that's from an old ukiyo-e wood print. Wood block.
Okay, now I see it. For some reason, I saw the bowler and I thought it was a wolf. I don't know.
Yeah, and it
Hello,
has a
Paul.
body. It has a body, but I just took that part off. Like I redid the things.
Now I see it because I see the little Chinese style dragon whiskers on it.
Right.
Now I see it. Yeah.
And the tongue. If I took the bowler hat off, you would see, right? It's on a different layer, so you would see the horns too.
Right.
It's on a different layer of the
The mining hat. That's funny.
Yeah, I already started. I'm gonna finish it this afternoon.
Oh yeah, maybe you could use that song for the intro if you don't. Been working in a coal mine, mowing downtown.
Well, just change coal into salt.
The salt, yeah, it's gotta be salt because
My baby slipped down.
All right, so yes, we are, and then I am going to. I suppose I don't know. I don't know how many hate subs I'm gonna get, but I'm guessing it's gonna go up.
Okay, everybody
Okay.
here. How many hate subs do you have? I don't think I have any right now.
Well, I had 99 subs before this whole thing started, and now it's 103. So 4 of them at least.
Ah. No, I mean how many hates that you're hate sub to?
Oh no! I don't know if I told you this, but
Yeah.
Bering's video, this whole saga, this whole thing. When Bering made that video about the black dude, the devil's advocate dude,
Yeah.
I unsubbed almost everybody.
Is that right?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he said, in his video that he's on the back channel with a whole bunch of people talking about this and that and whatever, and he's talking about what content he's going to produce and who he's going to promote and stuff like that, which is awesome. Feel free to do it.
Yeah. Feel free.
Feel free to do it. But now that I have looked beyond, past the curtain, there's no more secret now. Now I don't give a shit.
Okay. Well, actually, when we hang up the phone, you can kind of describe that. Catch me up on that. 'Cause
All right.
I didn't get
So-
into that whole thing with burying and
Yeah.
being on AIU and Devil's Advocate and whatnot. I kind of passed on
Okay.
that. Didn't have
Yeah,
the time.
yeah. I debated calling him a liar in a discrete video, like its own video,
Right.
because he lied. I mean, the
Okay.
black dude was right. But anyway,
Well, it's like House says, everyone lies.
yeah, everyone lies. And
Yeah.
so, if you guys got nothing to say, nothing to add, or put on the end of this, I think we're done here.
Nothing to add.
Nothing really important.
Alrighty, I think we're done here. So we will mine more salt next Saturday.
All right, I'll be here.
Yeah, awesome. Platy will be here. Beach will be here in a few weeks because he's busy with some stuff he's got to take care of.
Yeah.
And
Squaring away my situation.
and we'll be on tomorrow night on Sunday Shit Talk, which is what is it, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
You're going to do it again this Sunday? I most likely will tomorrow, right?
Yeah, that's the SST though.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's just
I should be able to be there for that.
that's our spot to do the racist jokes and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope I'll be there. Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
Awesome. But you have a more important thing going on too, which you will have going on for the rest of your damn life.
Oh yeah, but that was a conscious choice, so I knew what I was getting into.
Oh, it's awesome being a dad. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Well, I'm waiting to go offline. I just connected my camera to my laptop, so I'll need to do a refresh of the Hangout, and then the camera will be on, so I can show her off again.
alrighty. So see you tomorrow, everybody.
Right, take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.